If you like what you see, come and get it with me. I know you deserve all you want, 'cause your heart's made of gold, but don't wait till you're old.
We're back, baby. Nana, you're back.
Hi, honey.
Welcome, everyone.
I missed you guys. I missed you, Joe.
Yes, move your microphone a little closer to you.
All right.
90 Day with Nana. Welcome, 90 Day with Nana. We were on hiatus. Nana was traveling on vacation. She just got home an hour and a half ago. And she was like, we're going live. You look really pretty, Nana.
Oh, thank you. I'm rested. Of course, I could sleep some more, but I slept good, even with different beds. Yeah, it was very good. It was just a wonderful road trip.
Well, we will get caught up on Nana's road trip. We'll get the update, and then we'll be recapping kind of a combination of the last two episodes, I think, because they bled into each other. You know,
they did. And the problem with mine is I get 5, and I don't know how to change that up on my. It's not a VCR. What is it?
DVR.
Okay, and I don't know how to set it to get more episodes. So after 5, it drops. It also accounts on this for the Pillow Talk one.
You probably are losing space, so you have to delete the old ones you've already watched.
Oh,
because you only get so much space in the DVR, just like a VHS tape. You know, you can know it's only so long. Same thing with the DVR.
That helps. And then I have some GPS questions later. Okay.
We will get all caught up, you guys. We got the technical stuff. Everything Nana needs to know, she will find out tonight, and you guys will find out all about her trip. If you haven't already, smash that like. Let's set a like goal for tonight, Nana. So we're already at, let's see what we're at. We're at 43 likes already. So what?
Oh my gosh.
Nana, people have missed you. I'll tell you all about
it. Oh, that's so nice. Let's go 52.
Okay. So we got 46 likes. We have a goal again to 52 likes. I think I'm going to say 152. There we go. And if you want to support the channel, you can do what Evelyn did. Smash the like and send a super chat. Evelyn, for the first super chat of the broadcast. So glad to see you, lovely ladies. We also have a Patreon, patreon.com/Joleen Lunzer. We also have a YouTube membership. If my mods don't mind dropping the link, if you want to join, we just have one right now. It's fun. Evelyn, thank you for your
nice.
Generous super chat. So, oh my gosh, hello everybody. Yes, right. Mondays are never the same without Nana. So Nana, we've missed you. Let's get caught up on your trip. We hit 54, so we hit Nana's goal already at 52.
I love to just, shoot for the moon. So that's the name. That's the name of this. Did Jill just walk in? Oh,
he didn't. Did it look like he walked in?
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, he did not walk in, Nana. But yeah, let's keep getting the likes up, you guys. We're at 55 now. You guys rule. You're awesome. Okay, back to Monday night.
Thank you so much.
Thank
you, you guys. This was a road trip. Felt like gypsies, in the car. And then some days, you're driving 7 hours in one day. That gets to be a bit much.
Where you went, what you did.
Okay.
So that we can hear all about it. And I just love, we tried to fix Nana's camera so we can't see her cute little shirt, but we can see
Oh, it says Nike on it.
Oh, it's cute. Oh, it's so cute. All right. Tell us everything, Nana. Where were you? Because I'll tell you this before you start.
Okay.
People were worried. Next time you go on vacation, we have to prepare people, I think, a month in advance, because I think we kind of dropped off and we're like, okay, you're going on vacay. And then people were messaging me like, where's Nana? Did you kill her? Like, what happened to her?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
We need to prep them for a Nana, a week or two without Nana. Because I've only talked to you 2 times. This is like the least I've ever talked to you.
This is the least, because let's just start with that. Okay, we're on the road. And then mine being an Apple product, I plug it into the car because it says Apple Play.
Yep, you have Apple CarPlay.
We could not use Dad's in there.
He has an Android. Yep.
Right. Okay, so I was right on that deal. So we got the GPS to work. There's only one time where she quit talking to us when we stopped to pee.
Okay.
And there's only one time she quit talking to us, and we don't know what we touched. So.
Okay. But then she started talking to you again, like when?
It was early on. It was as we were going down to Hannibal, Missouri. Okay. Now we're in Minnesota, so we're going through Iowa. We hit part of Arkansas, sticks out there a little.
Did you like Arkansas?
What I saw of it, I hope there's no one here from Arkansas.
She didn't like it. Well, you didn't. I don't think you went to any hot spots in Arkansas. You went to the bathroom, right?
We went to the bathroom, and I would have been better off peeing outside the car. You know, it was one of those dirty, dirty bathrooms. And I know there's somebody out there that kind of looks at the state of these bathrooms. I was so happy to cross the border today to get into Minnesota. We have the best rest stops. They have snacks. They have pop. It's clean. They ask you to wear a mask, you know,
in Minnesota.
On top of it.
Not in Iowa? They don't do it?
Iowa is nice too, because it's just a bordering state. But yeah, but I couldn't believe we were in Arkansas. I said to Paul, this GPS isn't working. It says Arkansas. He goes, yeah, we have to go through a little bit of Arkansas before we get to Tennessee, to Memphis. So it was just like, huh? Oh, okay. Or to Missouri.
Okay, so you went to Missouri. You went to Hannibal, Missouri. Producer Linda said she only talked to you twice as well. And thank you, Laundry is Evil, for the super chat. How was Graceland? Was it gross or great? We got to get to Graceland too.
Okay, we will get to Graceland.
We called it Nana's Dead Tour because you literally visited all your favorite dead people.
You guys, I really did. It was just, well, a lot of it was moving. Okay, so first we went to Hannibal.
Oh my God, you took the brochures. Your grandpa.
I am grandpa.
Your dad.
I am grandpa. And then this is Mark Twain, and that's his town in Hannibal. Okay. And we got to go through Mark Twain's boyhood home and what he wrote about Polly in Tom Sawyer, her home. And it was just really nice. It was kind of a little bit cheesy, like you felt like you were at Wall Drug. You know how that was when we went there. Yeah. But it was nice. I liked it. There we stayed at a bed and breakfast, and it was called the Belvedere. I've never stayed at a bed and breakfast before. This is a first for me. I absolutely loved it. It was Pat and Bob. They were just wonderful.
Pat and Bob, it was there. So Pat and Bob, it was Pat and Bob's bed and breakfast, B&B.
Yes. Okay. And it was very interesting because she knew Summit Avenue. She was born and raised in Chicago. She was a social worker. And she'll be coming to Thanksgiving. And she was a social worker. And she came up there, and they decided on their retirement, they're going to buy this old mansion. And they fixed it up, and they did it to the tens. The rooms were, old because it's an old mansion built in 1890 something. But what was interesting about this is that the same person that owned this house also built a house on Summit Avenue.
In St. Paul, Minnesota.
You got to have some ching for that. I just wish I would have gotten the address from her. Of course, I could always write to her and stuff, but she was wonderful.
Yes, the letter is available. You can always write the letter.
I can write her a letter.
The letter. You could, or you could just maybe email her something.
I could email her. There's an idea. There's an idea. Dear Pat. She was wonderful. She made us beautiful breakfast. The first day we had this kind of an omelet type thing. It was so good. And souffle. And
who cooked it? Ed? What's the other one's name? What's her name?
Pat.
Pam? Pat. Oh, did Pat cook it or did Ed? Or what are their names again? We're rusty.
Pat and Bob.
Bob.
And Bob runs a school there in the basement. And what he does, he runs a school for carpentry.
Oh, okay.
And how to redo old homes.
All right, you were scaring me for a second.
He's very well renowned for this. And so anyway, I just loved it.
Can't tell us. I don't mean to laugh. It's just
it's okay.
What I was thinking in my head, you were like, Bob runs a school in the basement. I'm like, don't go to that school. That sounds creepy AF. Bob's school in the basement, like that. Never go with a guy named Bob to a basement. It's just not going to end well.
Well, it's so funny because I said, how do we get in after hours? She says, if by chance the door is locked, And then she gave me the code, which is close to the year I was born. So then we had a lot to talk about because they used that code for the year he was born.
Don't always lock their doors at the B&B?
I was so surprised. They were so nice though, and it just felt like home. It felt so nice.
Aww. So are you gonna go back there, do you think?
Pat and Bob. Pat and Bob. And it was really weird because when we were walking through the streets and, you look at all the little antique stores and we did the walk on the river. So, and we're going into this one place and it was a bar and grill on the corner because Bob was telling us what great hamburgers they have. Oh. So we went and I said, it doesn't look open, Paul. And so I tried the door and the door was open, but all the chairs were up on the table. And I'm going, hello? Were
you in Mayberry? The whole town's just open for anyone to just rob it. Go to Hannibal, Missouri, I guess.
Honey, I couldn't believe it. So I said, let's get out of here. No one's here. And well, that can't be. Why would the door be open? Well, somebody who locked it up or thought they locked it up from the night before didn't. But it was kind of weird.
Be honest.
Not a thing. There's too many cameras out there nowadays.
But back in the day, Nana would have had a cup, a glass, some silverware, something.
Salt and pepper shakers, But okay, and then while we were there, we also this is Rockcliffe Mansion.
Ooh,
we did guided tours. It was so cool.
Whose mansion was it?
The gentleman that bought it, they're a couple. It wasn't Bob. It was a couple, and I forgot his name, but he's from Cuba because he asked us where we were from. And I'm sure he thought I had an accent, which I didn't. He does. And he's from Cuba, and him and his partner bought it, and they're bringing it back. And it's strange because the people who lived in this mansion, when the husband died, the mom built a home right next to it with her daughter, and they lived there and left this mansion for 43 years with everything in it.
Why?
I don't know. But they left everything in it. So everything was the same when they bought it. They said 43 years it just sat there. Every once in a while they'd come over and get a dress or something or whatever.
This is a crazy town. No one's robbing these places. Just because I lived in the city too long and was raised in the city. So I'm just like, you can't leave your doors open. But this town sounds magical. You could just leave your house for 43 years and no one will take anything.
I said to Paul, I feel like I'm in Mayberry. That's exactly what I said.
Yeah.
But there were some kids that got into it and did do some damage, but they fixed that. They wanted a place to party,
Yeah.
But for the most part, they had Tiffany chandeliers, which are worth thousands and thousands of dollars, that everything just sat the way it was. Books on the bookshelves, the kitchen, their clothes, it was just eerie.
Was it haunted?
I asked him about that. I pulled him aside a little because when I first got there and he said he's from Cuba. I said, the only thing I know about Cuba is Desi Arnaz is from there. He says, would you like me to sing Babalu? And I says, will it be extra?
Oh my gosh, cute, Nana.
So he had just a great sense of humor and he knew it like the back of his hand. Of course, it's his business. But he knew everything, every nook and cranny of it. It was delightful. I love those type of things where you can go in and be walked around.
Yes,
but I did ask him.
No hauntings.
There was no hauntings. He goes, I don't believe in that. And I went, oh, okay.
Yeah, lots of people don't, but you never know. Maybe he says here, I think he says he doesn't believe in it because then he thinks they won't haunt him, but that's not how it works. They'll just pick you.
It is also a bed and breakfast.
Oh, they want people to stay there. Do you think you'd go back and stay there, but you couldn't tell Bob and Pat because they'd be pissed?
No, I would. If I went back to Hannibal, I would stay with Bob and Pat. I felt really at home there. We sat out on the porch, people walking by. Hi, howdy. And it's kind of like, oh, okay, hi.
Okay, so from Hannibal, you did your thing. You had fun. Tom Sawyer, Bob and Pat. Did you go to Pat's or Bob's school in the basement? Did Bob take you to the basement?
I was going to ask him, and then we just didn't. We
Did you want to go to the basement with Bob?
Not really. I mean, I can look at dad's tools out in the garage, and that's what it is. It's a bunch of things like that. It was very cool. I highly recommend that that mansion tour. I love going into places and finding things out about places. It's just out of my comfort zone. Let's say it that way. So I like that I did that.
So then where did you go?
All right. So then after we went there, then we were heading down to, I just want to show you my little patches. These are Mark Twain, and they had a whole big thing about Mark Twain, and we went through his museum, and that was very good. And I got these patches so I can sew on my jean jacket, like the kind you have on right now.
Yep, you love patches.
I love patches. So then we get in our car, and we're going to the King's house. Now,
Graceland, you're on your way to Memphis. And how far is Memphis from Hannibal, Missouri?
It was a 7.5-hour drive.
Okay.
And there we stayed at an Embassy Suites, and they were
you're
very
fancy, Nana.
They were very good about, you have to, anytime you're in like a social area, Hannibal wasn't very good about masks.
No, they don't lock their doors. They're not worried about COVID.
I just couldn't believe that whole thing. But then we got to Tennessee, and Tennessee is a little different that way. Tennessee has so many trucks going through it that I got a little nervous driving, but I did some of the driving. Dad did most of the driving, but we got into some of their freeway systems, and there's trucks on every side
like
of you.
Semis, are you talking about?
Semis.
Okay,
semis.
Then you got scared of the semi. Yep.
Okay, semis. So then we went to, God's country. We went to Graceland. It was just, I loved it. I know some people go, I went through Graceland, but I was kind of disappointed because it was small. And, this is back a ways. When he bought it, it was in the 1950s.
Yeah.
It is beautiful. It's 14 acres. And it surprised me. So when we pulled up, it looked like Disneyland. And I said, what is this? I thought we were going to go right up to the mansion. Like how he goes through his gates and stuff. And I thought we were going to, and there'd be parking there. But you go into the place across the street.
No, it's a business.
It's a business. And I didn't know that. And I says, I don't think we're in the right place. He goes, well, there's planes are over there. I think we are. And we bought not the top of the line package, but we bought the middle one. So we could go through the airplanes. We could go through all the museum type things that he had.
Why didn't you just get the top of the line?
I just thought it was a little much for both Dad and I. I kind of watch my pennies. It was $150 for the two of us, and I thought that was plenty.
Each?
No.
Oh, together. Okay.
Together.
Yeah, so 75 a piece. Okay.
So people, and I think I want to say this out loud. People assume that maybe you've been there before, or you're older and you know these things and you don't. They had us go through this little turnstile thing, which is fine. And the girl just hands me, we got our tickets because I had put it on will call. I know how to do that. And she says, oh, you stand over there. Go through that woman there. Oh, okay. So I'm walking over there. And then she goes, oh, you go through these doors and then you wait for the shuttle. And I'm thinking, oh, okay. Then that takes you over to Graceland itself, right across the street. And I thought, oh, okay. I still haven't seen the house, still haven't seen it because they have you pull in this big Disneyland sort of thing. And so I said, well, when we get back, then we'll go through, all this, the museum that they have there. I call it a museum, but it's all the artifacts from Elvis. It's his cars, it's his clothes, it's Lisa Marie's things. It's fabulous. So we get standing, waiting for the shuttle. And the girl hands us these little boxes, and it almost looks like
it's an iPad.
Thank you.
Yeah. Like little iPads, little tablets.
Yes, little tablets. And then with a thing going around your neck, and then hands you earphones. And I go,
because I posted a picture of you with that.
Did you? I go, what is this? What is this? And she goes, you wear it and you listen about the tour. I go, oh, someone doesn't. I said, someone doesn't take you around. That's what you pay the extra money for. You can have a woman. We saw the tour group. There was about 3 people in there walking around, and she was explaining everything. So here's Dad and I got my purse, he's hands-free. So that's good because I didn't buy anything yet. And we get in and we're trying to help each other. And they go, well, plug it in. because Paul goes, I don't hear anything. Well, the woman goes, you have to plug it in. What did she say? Plug it in. So
oh
this
my
is,
God.
I
When
mean,
do you wind? When do you wind?
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I was like, what? I said, oh, you have to, plug it in here, put the earphones on, then you can hear it.
Plug it in,
Plug it in. And then, and then you just kind of go through, but they dropped us off in the front door. We went through the gates, and the gates were a disappointment to me because the way they always show them on things, they're tremendously big is how I had it in my mind.
Yes.
Not just iron gates. And you said something about bubble gum.
Yeah, there's a wall. I think that was I mean, I haven't been to Graceland since I was like 25, I think.
Okay.
But I think on the wall outside there was a bunch of gum. There was like a wall with your gum, but maybe I'm confusing it with something else. But you didn't see this?
I did not see that. I did see where people etched on the wall their initials and things. Oh, there I am.
There's Nana outside of Graceland. Yeah.
I'm telling you, I could not believe I was at Graceland. I got so excited. And then when you walk in the house, the gentleman's name I remember was Brian, and he was so nice, and he's explained to us what we were going to do. And so that was helpful for us, two old fogies here. So we got in, and he goes, now keep that plugged in, keep the earphones on, and you can walk at your leisure.
Did Priscilla narrate it? Because I think that's what DJ Nashville said. Priscilla narrates the.
Oh,
did you not notice that it was her?
now I have to think about it because there's a few people talking on it.
Okay.
A few people talking on it. I didn't know it was Priscilla. Huh. I just kept looking at that dining room. When you first walk in, you got the living room to your right with that giant white couch and a piano. And then to the left is the dining room. Now, the dining room is, and if you want to Google this or look at it on YouTube, is where Oprah Winfrey was there. And Lisa Marie and her husband had taken her around the grounds, and her friend Gail, and they ate at that dining room table. That was exciting to me. So you can see
that when she interviewed her about Michael Jackson, her marriage, or no?
Well, they did talk a little bit about that, but mostly it was about this. And she took Oprah someplace that no one ever goes. And I'm looking around going, where would this be? But it must be another building where it's nothing but drawers and drawers and drawers. You have to wear gloves to go in there. And it's all more of his stuff.
Okay.
I mean, so many awards and things like that. It was fabulous. Now, this kitchen, I always have to laugh because that's carpeted kitchen. And
so this is linoleum or something. And then here, or is that carpet right there?
That is carpet.
Beige? What's this, tile?
The beige is carpet. It's kind of a... Okay. And then that is carpet in the kitchen. And, so back then people did that kind of thing. I don't get it,
No.
I don't get it. But that was fabulous. I just
see
loved
you got
it.
your iPad on around you there, and you got your little headphone, so that's nice. And then here we'll take another look at the kitchen. Nana got this.
I just thought it was cool. Did I expect it to be bigger and more grandiose? I don't know. I don't think I did.
I think you did at first, because when I first talked to you, you were like, yeah, I thought it was going to be bigger because we're used to like certain mansions, but you have to now with celebrity compounds. But at the time, this is huge.
This
and
is
having
huge.
14 acres and all. I mean, he designed it how he wanted it, I think.
Right. He decorated the way he wanted. They bought it from a doctor. And he wanted, he had his parents living there. He had grandma, aunt and uncles, a lot of people living there at one time.
Look at the lights.
I know. I just thought, it was like a step back in time. I felt like I was in Pleasantville.
Yeah. Look at that olive or what do they call that? Like avocado
green, the burnt oranges. It was fabulous. Granted, they had parts roped off like the dining room. They had but you could get right up to it.
Look at that.
It just was wonderful. And then next to it, over there to the right, you can see all the green. That's the jungle room. So you're going through, and there's another room there that they spend a lot of time, they said, in that. And then past the jungle room is the backyard.
Was the jungle room like the living room, like entertainment, or what?
It was.
I think I have a picture of you in front of it.
It was more entertainment than that is. That's the jungle room, and you should
back here.
Yes, that is, and it's just people would say gaudy, yes, but that was the taste, and that was the style. The shag carpet, green shag carpet. Back then, not all of us were that trendy in the 70s, but for that time, this was big stuff.
Yeah, and then they kind of rope it off. You can't walk in there, obviously, because you could.
No, you go off.
So you
to the
weren't
back.
disappointed at all.
Not at all. Not at all. Oh, it was just wonderful. I was so excited. I think I had tears in my eyes by that time. I was just
the most. I'll show you in a picture that you sent me that I was like, Nana is freaking thrilled. I can tell. I know your thrilled face, and it was you doing a selfie. Going down into the basement. So you didn't go to Bob's basement, but you went to Elvis's basement.
I went to Elvis's, and I thought,
look at your eyes. You look so happy.
I know. I was just so happy. And you're going down these steps, and he's got mirrors on the sides, on the ceiling, and these black treaded stairs. And the girl is looking at me. They got people placed all over, so you're not touching things and stuff. And she's just looking at me. I says, I just want to get a picture here. She goes, you're fine, honey. You're fine. So okay, thank you. So I just taken this picture
upstairs where he died in the bathroom. They said that's offices or whatever.
Yes, that's still the family's quarters, they said, and always was the family's quarters. So that is roped off, which disappointed me immensely. I thought we could see it would be like Blenching Mansion in Duluth. I was so excited. And I thought, this is a cool picture. I am so cool to take this.
You are so cool. That's a pretty cool selfie, Nana.
I thought it was so cool. But yeah, and they were very good. As you can see, the masks. You don't take the mask off when you're inside the house. All the staff were wearing masks. All the security. Everybody that was working there and working across the street at the Disneyland type thing all had masks on.
Well, that is so cool. Okay, so then you went and Chell told you a place to get barbecue and you went to Beale?
Okay, now, yes. Now that was Graceland. And then can I just say, it is just moving to see Elvis's grave and his father, his mother, his grandmother are all laid out there. And then they had a memory for his brother, Elvis's brother, Jesse. He was a twin. And the baby isn't there, but there's a little marker there for him. And then also Lisa Marie's son, who passed away, is in front of it. And his is a bigger coffin cement type thing.
You just raised the roof, Nana.
I did.
Raised the roof.
We spent a lot of time there just because it was reflective and there's a fountain there. And this great big huge statue of Jesus with his hands out that his friends gave him as a Christmas present one year. It was beautiful. The swimming pool was right in front of that. And it was very small for today's standards of swimming pools. Very small. But at the time, I mean, it was just fabulous. And you just got to go through. You got to see where Vernon, his dad's office was. If you're thinking about it, just do it. It was that good. I just
do it. Nike and Nana say, just do it.
Just do it.
All right. So then where'd you go, Nana? We got 13 more likes to get to 100. You guys keep it up.
I just have to mention this. I read this book on the way down there. And this is Ron Howard's book and Clint Howard's about their family and growing up. And it's called The Boys because that's what their mother would call them. The boys. That's Ron, Clint, and then his dad, who just passed away not too long ago. And his name was Rance Howard. And it is a fabulous book. I read it out loud because you can get that stuff on audio, I heard.
Yeah, you can get audiobooks. Have you ever listened to an audiobook?
No, but thank you for asking. If there's not a CD in there in the car, where does one put that?
Well, you can get it right on, they have like apps like Audible. I have a library app for
Oh,
like the LA library so that I can get audiobooks if
oh,
I want to. Hmm.
okay. Well, I'm sorry, but I loved reading out loud. And so I read this
You read
all
it
the
out
way.
loud.
I read it out loud all the way on our trip. When we get in the car, I'd say, okay, now we're on chapter blah, blah, blah. And it made the time go by quicker. A lot of the farmland, you see a lot of farmland and things like that. So
And you were
this
like,
was I highly recommend this book. I can't say enough
yay.
about it. I've already written to Ron Howard on his site and told him that we were from Minnesota. We were driving down. We were born the same year as him. And I read it out loud to my husband all the way down. So, and I loved his book. Okay. So,
Oh, good, Nana. All right. So you read the Ron Howard book. Then where'd you go?
and then here's
that's
Elvis's Pink
cute.
Cadillac. Isn't that cute?
Cute.
That's another one of those things that I'm going to put on a jacket or whatever. Because that's what I get. I used to, back in the day, I'd pick up shot glasses from every place I went, but I like the patches better. Okay. So then, thank you for coming along to this trip with me. This was the most moving that I ever felt. And this was when we went in Memphis and we went to the Martin Luther King Lorraine Hotel, where he was assassinated on April 4th, 1968. I think it was April 4th. I'm getting my days mixed up. I hope I'm right. 1968. So I remember this. I was in 8th grade. I remember this kind of like yesterday.
Okay.
But to pull into the parking lot, then we get out and we're walking up to it, and there is the Lorraine Hotel. And they have a big wreath where Martin Luther King was assassinated, coming right out of his room 306.
Okay.
And attached to that is the museum, and it is called the National Civil Rights Museum in Memphis. And I got two of those.
Nana.
I got two of those. I shouldn't say two. I got one of those, and then I got one of the Lorraine Hotel. So you can see right here.
I thought you sent me a pic. I'm trying to find it.
I did. That's okay. And then they had these old cars, 2 old cars sitting there for the time, big cars. But just the idea of being there, seeing this, reading about this, seeing it on TV. You know how they would replay Kennedy's assassination? They did that with Martin Luther King also. So to see this as a kid and then to actually be standing there and seeing it. Okay.
So to remember it as a kid, like on the news, and then you saw it and it was
absolutely. Because,
surreal.
went to St. Jerome's grade school, 1968.
We're
in 8th grade. Oh, didn't I?
No, I got a picture of you outside of
at
least I don't see it. I thought you did though.
I thought I did too.
Something.
So then we go into the National Civil Rights Museum. This was absolutely fabulous. This was the best part of the trip. Highly recommend it. The Lorraine Hotel is connected to the museum. They kept everything the same. I mean, certainly they don't. The Lorraine Hotel, the owners that owned it at the time of Martin Luther King, and Martin Luther King, it said, wanted to give Black owners, Black businesses, the business. And so that's why he stayed there. And then after he was assassinated, the woman who owned it had a stroke and died 5 days later.
Oh my God.
It was
horrible.
That's horrible. I just, the minute I walked in there, I could just feel my knees start to go. And talk about being safe, You walk in, they had me open my purse. They had me take out my wallet, unzip my zipper there. They do a baton wand around you, just like the airports. And naturally I went off because I said, I have 2 hips.
You got 2 hips. 2 new guys.
I said, I have 2 artificial hips. And he goes, okay, yeah. And so, Dad had to take out everything out of his pockets. They check. So they were very smart that way. It was now Swick Pick saying, I cry so hard every time at Civil Rights Museum. I was so moved by this. It's things we saw in the news. Cannot believe people were treated like that. Saw saw it. But when you're right there and they're showing you film clips and news things, and what was really strange to me is as I'm walking through and they were showing the news of the day, I remember Walter Cronkite's voice. I remember David Brinkley's voice. You could, and they had the old TV sets that they would play these things on, and you sat down twice at a theater itself to learn more about civil rights. It was so moving. It was the best thing we did across this. Now, when we're going through the tour, my knees buckled because what they did is room 306, and I believe this would be 307. There's a hallway and a big open window, and it's glassed in, and that's the room that Martin Luther King was walking out of when he was assassinated.
Oh my gosh.
And they kept it just the way it was.
I'm so glad that they kept it like that.
Me too.
In memoriam and as a memorial, and then adding in a museum to it. Like, I'm so glad they did that.
They did it up so beautifully. I don't know who had a hand in this, but they did it up beautifully. And then it just showed everything. It showed the coffee cups. It showed an ashtray full of cigarettes. It showed a suitcase sitting there. It was just, and just the old kind of time, the beds, the way they were back then in a motel. It was just so moving. And I turned to Paul and I go, this is the room. He goes, it is. I mean, didn't think, because we couldn't go upstairs at Elvis's. Certainly I didn't think I'd get this close to this.
Did you get in the bus, the Rosa Parks bus, I think DJ Nashville was asking?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And a lot of times they ask you not to take a picture without a flash. So I wasn't sure if mine was flashing. So I didn't take a lot of pictures. I know.
Yeah. Well, you're being respectful. That's nice.
Right. They ask you not to. I don't want to ruin anything because
sometimes
much of
it's nice to just experience it and not
take it in. Take it in.
Yeah.
Yes. And I did. And I mean, the whole, oh my gosh, it was, I can't say it. And then there's glass on this side, and that was Martin Luther King's room, glass on this side. And these are the people that were staying with him. That was their room. And that was, and I remember a person behind me saying, I didn't know Jesse Jackson was there. Well, she was quite young, and certainly he was there. I mean, people don't know a lot of history things, a lot of, if you didn't live it or didn't read about it, then you didn't know that. But certainly that was just very moving to me. That was the best. And then you go across the street. Okay, you just go across the street, and it's a nice area there. You cross the street and you go into, I wasn't sure what we were going into, but our friend Carla said, make sure you cross the street and go through that because that's telling more about it. I said, okay, yeah. So we did that.
Shout out to Carla.
Thanks, Carla. That was a good suggestion, honey. And so we went in, and I was telling the gentleman that was standing or at the door at the desk, and I said, my knees were buckling over there when I saw his room. He goes, it's very moving, isn't it? I said, it just is. And I said, and they were telling about the shooter, which was James Earl Ray, was in a boarding house. Has that been torn down? And they said, no. He said, you're standing in it.
Oh, that's how close he was.
And I went, what? He says, you're standing in it. You'll see. You go up the steps or the elevator, whatever you want to use, and you'll see it up there. You'll see what we mean.
Goodness.
And there it was, his room, all, you couldn't, go past a certain space. So it was a boarding house, if you will. So this was his bedroom they showed. They showed the bathroom. And then the room next to it is another bathroom because it's a boarding house. They keep that one sealed. That's exactly where he put the gun out the window, the bathroom window, and shot Martin Luther King. I could not believe what I was seeing. I was just in. Now,
pardon my ignorance, obviously, because I wasn't alive then. But when that happened, did they arrest him immediately? Were they able to catch him immediately?
They did not. They found him in Europe somewhere.
Oh, okay. So he did run.
He did run. Yeah, he did
Did
run.
he
But
get brought to trial and all that? And
yes, and
I
for
don't
the
remember.
life of me, Nana, and this would be something that Dad had that no one
Mhm.
else wanted in the family, and it was a Life magazine of James Earl Ray, and I wish I would have brought it down there. I would have given it to the
I don't even
museum.
know what he looks like. I'm looking him up right now. So April 4th, 1968. Oh, he
Yes,
looks like a dickhead. He was born James Earl. Okay.
and it
Here's
showed the
him.
shotgun. It had everything under glass. It showed his suitcase. It showed his shaver, a can of Schlitz beer that he had left behind.
He died
They,
in 98. Ray did.
oh, okay.
So at the age
I
of
mean,
70.
he lived
He
too
got
long.
99 years imprisonment. 1 year was added after his recapture for a total of 100 years. So what did he break out?
No, I don't understand that recapture. I don't understand that.
Okay, so Ray fled to Atlanta. So on April 4th, 1968, Ray killed civil rights activist Martin Luther King Jr. with a single shot fired from his Remington rifle. So you saw that while King was
Yes.
standing on the second floor balcony of the Lorraine Hotel in Memphis, Tennessee. Shortly after the shot was fired, witness saw Ray fleeing from a rooming house across the street from the motel. He had been renting a room in the house at the time. A package was abandoned close to the site that included a rifle and binocular, both found with Ray's fingerprints. Ray fled to Atlanta in his white Ford Mustang, driving 11 hours. He picked up his belongings and fled north to Canada, arriving in Toronto 3 days later, where he hid for over a month and acquired a Canadian passport. Oh my God. Under the false name of Raymond George Snide. He left Toronto in late May on a flight to England. He stayed briefly in Lisbon, Portugal, and returned to London. On June 8th, 1968, 2 months after King's death, Ray was arrested at the airport, Heathrow, attempting to leave the United Kingdom for Brussels. He was trying to depart the United Kingdom to go to South Africa using the falsified Canadian passport. At check-in, the ticket agent noticed the name on the passport, the Snade, Sneyd, Snide, whatever, however you pronounce it, was on a Royal Canadian Mounted Police watch list. At the airport,
Okay.
officials noticed that Ray carried another passport under a second name. The UK quickly extradited Ray to Tennessee, where he was charged with King's murder. He confessed to the crime on March 10th, 1969, on his 41st birthday. And after pleading guilty, he was sentenced to 99 years in prison.
Not enough.
He recanted the confession 3 days later. He had entered a guilty plea on the advice of his attorney in an effort to avoid the death penalty of electrocution, which would have been a possible outcome of a jury trial. Unbeknownst to Ray, however, under the de facto moratorium in place since 1967, the following Furman versus Georgia, a death sentence would have been commuted as unconstitutional. So Ray fired his attorney. Oh, goodness. And then he's okay. So on June 10th, 1977, Nana, Ray and 6 other convicts escaped from Brushy Mountain State Penitentiary in Petros, Tennessee. They were captured on June 13th. So they were out for 3 days. A year was added to Ray's previous sentence, increasing it to 100 years while serving time in the early 1980s at the Tennessee State Prison in Nashville. Ray asked to be interviewed by news media on the anniversary of King's death. What a dipshit.
I know.
Yeah. Wow. I didn't know that he escaped. I didn't know much about him.
I did not know that. It would be a good idea for me to find that magazine and read the article, because it wasn't the old Life or Post, one of those that used to be. These magazines were like this big back in the day.
Yeah.
I'm noticing some people on the chat too. I did look over, thinking that he didn't act alone. I don't believe he did either.
Oh,
more people. Yeah, I really do. I just got that feeling from when I went through it, and I just, would see they mentioned other people and his associates.
I see what you're saying. Oh, yes, for sure. Like some people with power might have.
That's right.
Obviously, yeah.
That's right.
I hear what you're saying, Nana. Okay, so that was just a surreal but amazing
Oh,
experience. So
it was
then where'd you go?
It was one of my favorites. It was one of my favorite places to be because it just brought out so many emotions and I
Mhm.
learned so much from it. And I never thought in my lifetime that I would be that close to it. So
Yeah.
it was very good. And
Have you been
if
to
you're
Dallas yet where
I have not. I
Kennedy
have
was
not.
assassinated? Because yeah, you can there's a I went there in my 20s again, and
I
there's a
know. You
X that marks the spot of the car, and then you can see the book. What did they call it? The book
the book depository.
depository. You can I think you can tour that. I didn't tour it, but we walked to the area
Grassy
where,
Knoll.
yeah, the grassy knoll, and then we saw the X. We were like 22, and we were
See,
like, holy shit, this is crazy. So
and we were in
such a
third grade at that time. And certainly everyone remembers if you're alive,
Mhm.
where you were when
So did it
Kennedy
go
was.
Kennedy and then MLK was assassinated?
Yeah, 1963, November 22nd was Kennedy. And then April 4th, 1968 was Martin Luther King. And then I
And then
thought it was
Bobby,
June of 68, Bobby.
and then Malcolm X somewhere in between there too, right? Or
Yes, and I'm
you
sorry, I
guys
don't
had
remember
so
that.
many assassination, like
Yes,
I
the
say you guys
60s.
because your generation
Yeah,
was
no.
alive for it and mine wasn't. So Malcolm X was assassinated um 1965. Okay, so
Oh,
63 to
okay.
60, or to when was Bobby Kennedy then? Because if
68, I want to say it
so
was
same year as
after,
MLK. So it
it was
went
after, yeah,
JFK, Malcolm X, MLK, and then Bobby
then
Kennedy.
Bobby. And Bobby was
Holy
working
shit.
with Martin Luther King to try to find some peace in the South because you had people like George Wallace stopping um, blacks from attending school there. And
Mhm.
they were just, oh, the way they were treated was just, it was horrendous. I'm sorry. It was just horrendous.
Oh yeah.
It was just a wake up call to we haven't gotten that far yet.
Yeah, I mean, that's not that long ago. And I mean, in that small amount of time, how many people were
Yes.
assassinated? That's
Yes.
insane. That's insane. I
It
mean,
is.
now where we, have these mass shootings, of in the United States,
Well,
but to have like a president, the civil rights leader, like that's crazy.
and Morris is
Mhm.
saying that Malcolm X wasn't loved like he was now, that he was hated at the time.
Mm.
So it was
Um,
just, it was, Denise is saying, I remember when MLK was assassinated, my mom and dad stayed by the TV. We all did. That was what we did, except for when you went to school, because we were in St. Jerome's, in school, we went to mass right away. That was their answer to
mhm.
everything. Go to mass, because we prayed for him, you know.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ugh, crazy. Okay, so
okay.
after that, then where'd you go? You had barbecue in Memphis because we said, man, you
Okay.
have to eat barbecue.
Yes, and we wanted to find a good barbecue place, and we talked to Joleen, and we had talked to Chell, and Chell had mentioned to go to Central Barbecue. Now you have the Lorraine
Mhm.
um, Hotel right here, and the museum all in one,
Okay.
and then right behind it, we walked a block, and Paul goes, "Look, there's Central." That's what Chell said. So we went in there, and that was so good.
Was
And
it
I
good?
always don't know how to order. I act like I'm 12 years old and I can eat, don't get me wrong. But I ordered a full slab of ribs. I mean, it was this big. When they came out with it, I went, huh? Yeah, because I don't buy half of anything,
Well,
when it comes
no,
to food.
well, you had an Embassy Suite, so they got a fridge and a microwave in there, Nana?
That was, it was wonderful. We got to eat it, next day, whatever. But when we, and then where else did we stay?
Take it home, wake up, take the
Oh,
ribs
we
to
did.
bed.
Oh, it was so good. I ate it for breakfast the next morning, but that was an excellent idea for us to go to Central Barbecue. I
Oh,
said,
good.
I said, these barbecued ribs are as good as my mom's, I told the kid. And he said, oh, that's like what we like to hear.
Did you
I
hear
said,
any
they really
live
are.
music?
We were going to Beale Street. Okay. So we got kind of turned around and then GPS stopped on us and we have to pull over
We're
and
using
then
Google
put it
Maps?
back in. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
And at first we were typing it in and I says, maybe we want to use the microphone.
Siri,
So
yeah.
yeah, he says, okay, all right. So then we push that in and ask for Beale Street. Well, we got to Beale Street, but we didn't get out. It was starting to get dark. I don't really like to drive in the dark, and your dad doesn't either. So we headed back to our place, and that was great.
Well, that sounds fun. Then what? Then you went and came back. So
no, we went to Altoona. Our next
Altoona, where the hell's that?
Altoona, Iowa. They had Prairie Meadows Casino. So we got to go to the casino.
Nana went to a casino.
Yep,
did you see Brian Christopher?
I did not. He wouldn't go there, honey, anyway, because there's smoking allowed on one side and non-smoking on the other. And he said he doesn't want to go in anywhere that there's smoking.
Why should he? Why?
Well, he doesn't have to. He doesn't have to.
He doesn't smoke.
He doesn't have to.
Okay, so Altoona and casino.
And we went to the casino. And then when we left Altoona, and the casino was fun. We had a good time, as we always do.
What a weird place to pick. Why did you pick Altoona?
Well, because we were going by how far we had to drive in a given day. We had 2 days of 7.5 hours on the road. And then this one was like a 3.5 or 4, kind of a halfway.
Married? You still want to stay married?
Honest to God, I mean, we've been together through this pandemic and everything else. So,
you had to want to kill him a couple times in a car for that long.
No, it went fairly good. It really did. Because he knew when I'd be fidgeting in my seat, got to pee again. Yep, I got to pee again. When I have to go, I have to go. There's none. I mean, I'm sorry. Things have changed. I mean, I can't wait.
My urethra or whatever it's called.
I'm not sure what it's called, but when I have to pee, I have to pee. And so we left Altoona. Now that's just this morning. We left Altoona at about, 11, somewhere in there. Okay. And we drove. They had the little breakfast at the Quality Inn. They're trying to do it different.
Oh, a Quality Inn. You're so fancy now.
I know, Quality Inn. And I know we're looking at prices.
Yeah.
But they had Jimmy Dean sausage sandwiches that they gave you. And so I took our 2, got our free coffee, and then warmed them up in the microwave and ate those for breakfast so we could get on the road. So today was an exceptional day. And I'm sorry I'm going on and on about this, you guys.
That's okay. Care Bear said you could have stopped at St. Charles, Missouri. We have really nice casinos there.
Oh, I didn't. I'm sorry, Care Bear. I didn't see them. We went to Prairie Meadows. It was fine. But you know what, guys? They all seem alike to me. You find a couple that you like maybe better. If they have Buffalo and little poker machines that I like, I'm fine. I was kind of getting sad because I wasn't winning anything. So
how were the bathrooms there? Where were the nicest bathrooms? Where were the worst?
The nicest bathroom. I have to think.
Public restroom, I should say.
Oh, public restrooms. Okay. I would have to say the MLK and the one we're going to right now.
Did you pee at Graceland?
I did not.
You peed your pants a little, I bet. No? Okay.
I hope not. I hope not. I'm washing all my clothes because once they're in a suitcase, you know me. I said, you know what I miss the most, Paul? He goes, what's that? And I said, laundry.
Oh my God. Chell said today, I said, oh, Nana's probably home by now. I talked to him a couple hours ago about it. And he was like, I bet you Nana is thrilled to do laundry. And I go, I bet she walked in the door and ran to her washer.
I
hugged it and threw a load in.
I went down. He knows me. You know me. Chell knows me. I went downstairs and I looked at everything and I went, oh, I got a lot of laundry. Good.
She reached out to the laundry before she did me, producer Linda, my brother.
You guys, I'm sorry. I didn't even call the kids and I didn't call. I didn't call. I really didn't call anybody on this
trip. You just took some time off. That's okay.
And sometimes it's good to clear your mind and it's good to just take in the new sights. No, not ever. It's just to take in something so different. And like I said, so out of my comfort zone being the bed and breakfast. I wasn't sure. I was kind of nervous going in.
Bob and Pat, man.
But I couldn't wait to just get home, throw in a load, take a couple whiffs of Tide, It was good.
Well,
It was good.
huffing some tide. Okay, so best bathroom was the MLK Museum.
I would have to say, because everything was just pristine there. They kept everything so
Worst?
nice.
Arkansas.
We had to stop at a gas station, then we filled up with gas, and Paul walked out after me, and I'm standing there and I'm going, "What did you think?" And he goes, and I go, I mean, there was no they had no soap, they had no dryer things. It's like, what? So I went out and I'm scrubbing.
Back together.
It was bad. It was bad. You know,
and
kids, if you're just sitting there behind the cash register, get up, do something. Go put some more toilet paper towels in there for people.
No, people are realizing now after the panic cooking, they're like, they ain't paying us enough.
Well, you know what? You're there to do a job. Just do the job. You know, you got to be there anyway. I'm sorry. I have a different attitude about that. Home
and you're feeling good.
Yes, I'm feeling good. I'm at home. I'm still on the trip.
Mm-hmm.
Today we took off and we went to see where Buddy Holly, Richie Valens, and the Big Bopper, where their plane came down. That was moving. You come up to it, and and GPS took me right to the crash site. That's how I asked for it, Buddy Memorial's crash site. And it's a road that isn't paved. It's a gravel road, so you're out in the country. And all of a sudden, you look to the side, and there's big black glasses, just like mine, on 2 posts. And that's how, yes, they did it up nice. They did. And the farmer that owns the property or has owned it, and the family, they mow it right there. They're in the middle of cornfields.
Okay.
They mow it so you can walk back to the actual site that you're seeing where the plane went down.
Where was this at?
This is in...
Is this in Wisconsin?
No.
I feel like everybody died because I remember Otis Redding. He died over a icy Wisconsin lake. That's all. And I always wanted to see. Well, I don't know if I wanted to see it, but I really love Otis Redding, and so that's like the closest you can get because we lived in Minnesota, and I was like, oh, maybe I should drive there.
Yes,
but it seemed like is that Iowa? Where did they?
This is Clear Lake, Iowa.
Okay,
Clear Lake, Iowa. They had just performed, if I can get this in there, okay. They had just performed at the Surf Ballroom. It's called the Winter Dance Party.
Okay.
And Richie Valens, the Big Bopper, and Buddy Holly. And it was just,
tragic.
It was. And when we walked back there, and there was probably about 6 people that were walking, behind us, in front of us, and going to this. And then they have a little memorial there. They had a wreath. They had some other things like silver records with their names on it. And it was so still when your dad and I were walking, and we were just alone when we were walking in this field. Fields to the right of you, fields to the left of you.
No one else was there with you?
Not at that point in time. Mm-hmm. And then they had just, I don't know what they call it. When they run over the corn and with a tractor and they bring down all the corn stalks. Okay. Now this is from where?
Nana, did you steal from their agriculture?
Honey, this is stuff they don't use. This is stuff that was in the soil. And it looks like Indian corn. That's what they called it, I suppose that you call it Native American corn now. But this came right from the site. So
you just put it in your purse. Me and Chell were talking about that too, because we took the tram up Palm Springs, and I said, oh, should I take a pine cone? And Chell's like, what are you, Nana? And I said, I'm just joking, because that's what Nana does. She always steals from the...
But I don't steal. No one is going to miss these corn cobs from where the crash site was. So that was very moving.
Thank you, Skibo. This is so good. Thank you, ladies. Thank you,
Skibo, thank you. It was such a wonderful trip. I just loved it. So we went to the memorial site first. And then we thought, we're going to have to turn around and go back to find the Surf Ballroom, it's called.
Okay.
And the Surf Ballroom is right across the street from Clear Lake itself. They have some beautiful homes on Clear Lake. And we came up the back end of it. And do you remember the old prom ballroom in St. Paul, Minnesota on University Avenue? It's where the White Castle is now. It's where
I don't
Um,
think I'd ever been in it or knew what it was. I know where the White Castle is.
okay, it sat there. The prom ballroom
Okay.
was very prestigious. It was they had big time bands, old time bands coming in. Glenn
Mhm.
Miller played there, people like that. The surf ballroom still has people come. They had they had a museum in itself. The whole
Wow.
and the I want to call it the prom ballroom. The surf ballroom was fabulous. You could walk out on the dance floor. You could touch the stage. They had all this memorabilia everywhere you looked. It was my heaven. It had a it was my heaven. I just thought, "Oh, please, this is so wonderful." And it just went I don't know, I just can't say enough. They don't charge you anything. I
Aw,
thought they could at least charge you something. I mean,
Iowa.
it was fabulous. I would wanna go back there. I would wanna go back here.
Yeah. Now, so they just have you said a whole bunch of stuff,
Yeah, hanging on
memorabilia
the
and
wall,
things.
and it's
Mhm.
yeah, and all the people that have, played there with their
Mhm.
pictures, like Willie Nelson's been there, the Temptations have been
I
there.
bet you Ani
It just
DeFranco's played there.
I bet she has. I just didn't get through. I mean, there's walls and walls, and everything is the same, especially when I went into the ladies' room and I took a
Thanks,
picture
DJ.
in the ladies' room.
You did?
I did. I took a picture in the ladies. Did you get new glasses?
These are my old ones.
Oh, I like those.
I
Okay,
just I
someone just
couldn't
mentioned
find
this.
my other ones, and we were talking about Buddy Holly, so I thought I'd put on my Buddy Holly glasses, and we both
I
have our
know
Buddy Holly glasses on.
I felt right, right with it with these. And Aaron H is saying, I love those old ballrooms. Many still have live music with current and past recording
Yeah.
artists in the Midwest. Why they had to tear down the prom ballroom, and anybody that's listening from Minnesota that's been to the prom ballroom, we used to have the Parkside Fire Department balls they were called. And what you
I went
do
to
is
I went with Grandpa to one kind of, but it wasn't there. It
it
was
wasn't that by that
yeah.
time the prom ballroom, but I was a princess of Parkside and I
I
got to
remember
walk.
seeing pictures of you and
Yes.
you had a sash, and I was like,
Yes.
"Mom, were you a beauty queen?" And you said, "No." Did you get
No.
like most valuable player or something? You got
No,
like
I
honorable
got the
mention?
princess. I didn't get the queen. I
But you
wasn't the
got
queen.
something. Was there
Well,
a
I got
lady below you that didn't
no,
get anything?
no.
Oh, so
I
it
was
was like a
dose. I was
participation
dose.
beauty.
I was participating in being beautiful. Um, it was just so good. It was just wonderful. And did you see his signature in the bathroom, Nana? And I'm wondering whose signature.
Maybe Buddy
Um,
Holly's
I
in the
didn't.
place? No?
I No, I didn't. I saw it on different things. And Maria, his wife, only of 6 months. They were only married 6 months. They showed a phone booth, which nobody sees anymore. And the old phone is there, and there's a plaque above it saying this phone was used by Buddy Holly to call Maria to say that he's jumping
Oh.
on this plane to go.
And
And
then it was
just,
bad weather, right? That's what it was, and then the engines and or something. Like they weren't supposed
yes,
to get on that flight. They're like, and they're like, come on, get on. And Tammy's saying, I think we're gonna put this on Nana merch. Is it this heaven? No, it's Iowa.
it was my heaven. It really was my heaven. I mean, I just loved everything about it. And it was old. It was old school. Had the old rounded bar rail. It was the old wooden floors on the dance floor. It was the really uncomfortable seating. They sat just straight up and down in these little booths.
Yep.
And it was just booths everywhere. It was fabulous. The bathroom was especially nice. They still had the wallpaper that they had back then, and it was in that mint green. Was real hot back then, and mint green tiles.
Oh,
I just loved it.
nice.
I like to take it all in.
Nana, that
Um,
sounds like you just had the trip. So then you saw that, you got in the car, you headed back to Minnesota.
we headed back to Minnesota. It was kind of slow going. We saw one terrible accident that we just drove by, but I said a little prayer that we got home safe, and it was absolutely
Well,
wonderful to see all this.
you were missed. I'm glad you had such a great trip. You
Thank
did.
you. Thank
Have
you,
you talked to
guys.
have you talked to Lucy yet? Because we had some big news this week. She went on her first birthday sleepover.
I know. Can you just tell me really quick? I know I sent
It
Bill a text saying, was everything okay?
it was
She,
great. She loved it. She had the best time. Her little
okay.
friend turned 8. I think there was like 5 girls, 6 girls from the class that went. The mom who ran the sleepover was like the best. She had an email chain with the parents. I think parents were a little nervous, because a lot of them, they're 8. It's their first time. Lucy's technically 7. She's not even 8 yet,
Yes.
So the mom kept the parents updated. She sent pictures throughout the night. They went on. I got sent the pictures too, because then Bill sent it to me, because obviously I was texting him, what's the deal with Lucy's sleepover? How's she doing? Because I kept asking her, are you nervous? And I didn't want to make her nervous, but I wanted to make sure she knew that if you do get scared, you can always call your parents. You can always go home. There's no shame in that, because it's, she had the best time. She's like, I think we stayed up till midnight. They had pizza. They had cake. The mom had them all, they did a painting activity where they painted boxes and designed them. I don't know if they were like jewelry boxes. They did a creepy, spooky walk with flashlights around, they're like, they have like a little trail around the property. They played with leaves. So I got sent a picture with the girls throwing beautiful fall leaves in the air. They watched Hocus Pocus on the girl's house she went to the sleepover with. Her parents must do well for themselves. Very nice house. And they had like a on the wall a projection for the movie. So it was almost like they were at a theater.
Oh my!
I mean, Lucy
what
said
a birthday.
She had such a good time. And all the little girls were adorable. And I got all the pictures. So I would share them, but I don't want to show other people's children.
No, that's fine. Because Bill sent me 2 pictures, because I said, how is the sleepover going? And is Lucy excited? He says, I'll send you pictures. So
she got new pajamas for it. Her mom got her new pajamas.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And what else? Oh, and I go, what did you get your friend for her birthday?
What did she purchase for her?
She got her some of those, the kids like those, not fidgets, but sort of like they have the poppers.
Oh, poppers,
so a bunch of poppers, an LOL doll, and something else. I think she got a couple LOLs. So
nice.
She did pretty well for herself. So yeah, I was so excited for Lucy, but I was also like nervous for her.
I was nervous that day too. That's why I was texting Bill when we got back to the room. I just texted him quick, and then he followed up with those 2 pictures for me.
That mom was amazing. I mean, the fact that, because like Lucy said, yeah, there's an email chain for the moms, and she had been like keeping up with the moms up until the party, and then was sending people pictures throughout the night. I go, what a rad mom. Like that's the kind of mom I would want to be. That takes a lot of work. She had all the activities lined up. I'm like, back in my day, you got a sleepover, get your jammies on, and they threw some pizza at you and you call it a day.
I know. You get to stay up late and to have activities.
The parents go upstairs and they're like, see you later, have fun. But this mom was like,
hands on. That's wonderful, because nowadays I was a little nervous for her doing that. And Sarah even said to me, you and Joleen are not sure she should do this. And I go, yeah, I'm just kind of
anybody.
I don't either.
Not with my littles. No.
Right.
But they have to live. They can't just be in the fear of
and
adults.
I understand that. But tickled pink music. I always called my mom to come pick me up from a sleepover.
My mom, my first sleepover, and we lived in a duplex, and it was the people that rented from us upstairs, and I called, and they turned off the lights, like I told you. It was the older girls, and they included me because they were nice. And they said, I always feel like somebody's watching me. And they fell asleep to that song, like they played a tape or something. And I was like, what the F is this? Like, I'm 6 years old. I didn't know this song. And they're all like turning 11 or 12 or something. I think it was Angie's birthday upstairs.
Angie's birthday,
and
yeah.
It's dark, and all I can hear is, I always feel like somebody's watching me. And I was like, oh, somebody's watching me. And then I started crying, and you had to come upstairs and get me.
Oh, my God. I remember that like yesterday. I remember it like yesterday. Then I see granddaughter going, and I'm like, oh my gosh, where is the time going? This is what happens. It just, where is this time going? I think I have
a picture with their backs turned. Do you think I could share that one where they're watching the movie?
I haven't seen that. I don't want to impose.
It shows nobody's face. Here, let me just like crop it so you can kind of just see the top of the girls' heads. You can just see them watching. Here, I'll show you this. You can't see anything.
Okay.
And Lucy's on the end, and there's no evidence of.
Yeah, I don't want to do that to someone, right?
No, because gosh, Nana, you should see what's going on these YouTube streets now. You don't even want to know. These people are psychos. Okay. Joleen's iMac. Let's just send that over.
Yeah.
I just was just like, this is so cute.
Oh, I got tears in my eyes when Bill sent me
I
that
know.
picture of them. 2 pictures he sent, the leaves and then
Ugh,
sitting around a table.
oh
And I
yeah,
went,
wait
oh,
till you see this one
how
here. I'll show you guys
cute.
this one because there's no faces now. No one's discernible.
Okay, I don't want to write.
And then you can't see anything else. We'll just show it real quick. Okay. Let's see. And Lucy's on the and she just looks so excited. Okay. So here's them watching Hocus Pocus. How cute is that?
Oh, that is adorable.
How cute is that?
That is adorable.
So they got a little projection on the thing.
Oh my gosh, and they got popcorn and it's this is such an innocent, wonderful thing.
A cute, like the girls, and I go, Lucy, did you like Hocus Pocus? Yeah. Oh, I loved it. And then Bill said, well, she fell asleep. She pretended she didn't, but she fell asleep. So when she got home the next day, they watched the ending with her so she could, because she goes, the cat dies. I just remember, I think the cat died. And Bill's like, all right, well, let's watch so you can see what really, happens.
That's a good dad. Yeah, that's a good dad.
So
that's a good
they
way to do
rewatched it, but it was just like,
how sweet is that?
It was
how
so
sweet. And
just
nice house. Yeah, very nice home.
Such a nice
very nice
house.
home.
And she said the mom was so nice. And
that is
her mom looks so nice. But yeah, just to show that to you real quick, guys. Yeah.
I absolutely love that. Look at Linda. She's saying
I know.
Happy. Now I just got back, you guys. Now I'm forgetting. Who did we send the peace cards to? And I've been tracking it. I'm hoping they've already received them.
Okay. Well, we'll see.
All right. And there's somebody else we owe peace cards to. And for the life of me, I try to keep up with things.
Didn't I send everything to you?
No, I needed that address. And so then I can contact Jill and Jill sends them out.
I thought I sent you the address.
Just the one person. And that's what I'm trying to
put in the chat if you haven't received cards and we owe you, because
if we owe you cards, please tell us, because I don't want to disappoint anyone.
Okay. Yeah. Let us know. Okay. So now we're over an hour in. Should we talk a little bit about 90 Day Fiancé?
Yes.
We had to get caught up with Nana.
Thank you. Thank you for listening about our trip.
Everyone wanted to know, Nana. Everyone was asking.
That's so nice, you guys, because it was just a nice fall. We saw a lot of colors, the trees turning. And then we come back up here and a lot of our leaves are gone already. I was surprised.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And we saw some color, but anyway, okay.
Well, let's talk about these cuckoo bananas 90-day people. Let's see, which couple do you want to start with? Should we start with
Corey and Evelyn?
Oh, because they're the most boring, these two. Let me see if I can get a screen grab and I'll share my screen, a picture of them.
And I think so too. I think
I'm not interested in their story.
I want to be. I want to, because I love when she's with her mom and her sisters and her brother.
I don't even like that. I'm just so
don't
over
you?
them.
Okay.
No, it's weird. I think they took too long of a break in between when they first appeared to now. I think they're just weird. And this whole thing of her now being mad and him lying, like, it's a lot of lies.
That's all he does.
If I was her, I would end this so quickly. But like, why did you marry him so quickly? And then why did you believe that he couldn't get his wiener up? And why doesn't he just be with that other woman? Because it's pretty clear the side chick, who she calls nasty names, but that side lady was actually pretty respectful. She's the one that said, I don't want to be the third party. I don't want to come between this relationship. So when he met up with her to end it finally, like, what's the point, dude?
What is the point? Was it just for his own?
So respectful, and he seemed to really like her. Now I think that lady can do better, but why doesn't he just go with that lady? She seemed a lot nicer than Evelyn.
Yeah, but Evelyn's been just told a bunch of tales. She's just, she wanted to trust him. She didn't ever want to get married, so why do it now, Evelyn? And why to Corey? I mean, really?
Yeah, I mean,
and somebody's saying they fast forward through those.
Yeah,
Princess
says, I mean, it's so disingenuous. It's cringe. I don't know what's real, no what's fake. It just is like, it's too much.
It's almost like, I don't know. He just doesn't seem I shouldn't say her equal, but he just doesn't seem like he's got his
I
stuff
don't
together.
think she wants someone who is her equal. But that other lady seemed nice, and she seemed to like him, and she was very understanding in the fact that this Corey allegedly hasn't reached out to her since he just kind of took off and said, I gotta go with her. And now they're with the therapist, and shout out to the therapist. She's trying her best, but there's no hope with dope, and there's no hope with these two. There just really isn't.
There's no hope with dope.
This poor woman. I mean, she needs to get paid time and a half. She's like, all right, sassy pants. We got.
I know, but look at her. Look at her office space.
I know. I never forgive anyone. Well, you're gonna have to forgive people sometimes, Evelyn. But I mean, this is crazy.
That is crazy. I just wrote Corey and Evelyn. He asked her over for dinner. That was kind of cheesy too. No, it wasn't cheesy. It was just hamburgers, and they didn't look very good. He has flowers for her and cooking.
And why did he have 2 beds? Why did he have 2 beds in his new apartment he got?
He never did. She asked him. He never answered it.
Why 2 beds, sir? Why did it come? Did it come furnished? Were roommates in it before? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what she says. Evelyn's having a hard time forgiving him. Corey tells her he's lonely. Why do you have another bed? She says. How many girls have been here?
Oh my!
So she just throws it out there at him. I don't trust you at all. I'll do whatever it takes to get you back, he says. They go to a marriage therapist on the beach. He needs to take ownership of his actions. The end. I'm tired of these people. We'll move on to Steve.
Well, Mex says, Nana, thank you for renewing your contract with Joleen.
Well, I was holding out for more money. Finally, I had to.
Did you get your tree? Did you get your tree?
No.
Oh, dang it. I thought it would come by now.
I was nervous about when you told me you sent it. I thought,
yeah, I got really nervous. Get your tree, get your tree.
If it sits on the porch, because there's robberies everywhere and people see.
This isn't Hannibal, Missouri. They will steal your Treetopia.
Well, right.
We did order Nana. I ordered Nana the silver with colorful lights, 7-foot tree for your dining room. It's going to look so nice, and you have to take pictures so that we can see it.
I certainly will. And I check when we were pulling up, I checked the porch right away. Because sometimes when they deliver something, they'll push it off to the side. And I checked and there was nothing there. And like I said, I haven't talked to Bill. I haven't talked to the kids. So I thought if they would have seen something there, they probably would have put it into the garage or the house.
Yeah, I haven't checked the tracking. So I don't even know if it was delivered, but I just thought it would get there by now, but maybe not, which is fine.
Which is fine.
My Christmas tree isn't here yet either. So
I mean, the idea that did they give you another tree, you said?
Yep.
Because
I'll be in their Christmas campaign. Yeah. So we'll be doing a Christmas video. So watch for that stuff, guys. And then we'll post pictures of Nana's tree when she gets it. But I'm sorry, I interrupted your Nana notes. Okay, so we're with these 2 dum-dums. He's got 2 beds. Probably Haru was saying most likely he was living with that guy who she cheated with, the guy that is their mutual friend.
Oh.
Yeah, like I think that's off, like outside of the show stuff that happened. But yeah.
These people got to get their hormones in check. And I think what happens is as we get older, our hormones check themselves. Sometimes out for a while, sometimes not as strong. Okay?
Got it. Okay.
I should have held out for more money, Gigi. I should have said, honey, I tried. She's quite a bargaining agent.
I'm pretty good. Yeah, tickled. Exactly. It's like, why would there be 2 beds for other girls, Evelyn? He would have 1, so they're sleeping with him. Is she insinuating that he's going to have just a bunch of like sister girlfriends? I don't know.
He's not worth it. And
speaking of sister girlfriends, let's go to.
Oh, you're messing up. I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
No.
Okay. Let me hear you in the chat. Yeah.
Is it something on your end, honey? Because I'm hearing wah, 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 wah.
Let me bump out on that. All right. Can you hear us?
No, it's kind of sing-song.
It is?
Yeah, is anyone else hearing that, or am I having a small stroke?
Can you hear me now?
Now it's better. But before it was,
in
you
and out.
sounded.
Okay, let me check. Can you see me
tinny.
now, or can you hear me now?
I can see you and I can hear you.
Oh my God. You know, I turned off my Wi-Fi and I did the hard line in. So maybe, and my mic should be okay. Hopefully I'm sounding better. Okay, better. Thank you guys. Let me know if it changes. Sorry about that.
Yeah, the sound
okay.
goes in and out. Okay, there we go.
Oh, scared me. Okay.
Well,
so
it did me too. Who do you want to go to, honey?
Alina and Dum Dum.
Oh my God, Steven, number one, cut your hair.
I don't even think I took screenshots of them because I was.
And I know it's not a thing now. Cut your hair, glue some to your chest so we don't have to see that skinny little chest. Alina's mother, it shows where she was with them. She's going back to Russia now. Alina's given him another chance. Mom is not happy about that next chance. She thinks her daughter should go back with her, which she even said. Am I saying that right, Alina? Yeah, Alina.
Yeah, Alina.
And Alina should go back with her mother, but she doesn't.
She should.
He is just a strange man. And she even said during this, when they got in the car with Mom to take her to the airport, "Hi,
Say hi to
Chell."
Nana.
Hi, Chell.
He said, "We miss you."
Oh,
He
miss
brought me
you
a
too.
Starbucks.
I love that Central barbecue. I wish I was there right now. Now I'm hungry. Mom wants Alina to come back to Russia, but Alina thinks that she can trust him. She's going to give him another chance. Too many chances, Alina. Alina thinks he acts like a child. He's sitting in the middle. Mom here, Alina here, the driver up here, and says, "Anybody want a cookie?" I mean, he's just.
And he was eating like this.
I know. And she says he acts like a child.
The poor mom is like, she's a young woman and she can't, because we come back in, 2 episodes ago of them at the wine tasting, but it was really the wine spitting. And he says, "I probably made out with 100 chicks." Oh,
yes.
you didn't. No, you didn't. No, he's counting, like making out with the same chick a bunch of times. Like there's no way 100 chicks made. I don't want to live in a world where 100 chicks would make out with this dude. And then
just
dry humping and or, underneath the
Yes.
pants a little bit. Apparently, I don't know what he say, a couple dozen. And then actual intercourse, maybe 5 to 7. He doesn't remember because maybe he was doing that. People have been sending me articles about the dipping. So apparently there are some, allegedly, Mormon teens who, so they don't break code, they just kind of dip it in, but they don't move it around.
Please.
And let it sit. They soak it. They soak. I think it's soaking. They're soaking their wiener.
It is the Bill Clinton sex. I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Are you watching the Monica Lewinsky impeachment show? It's so good.
I didn't know where is this?
It's on FX Tuesday nights. And we're 6 or so episodes in, and it's by Ryan Murphy, who did like the OJ crime show. And does American Horror Story, and it's really good. You would like it.
The older I get, the more I realize what a pig he was to do that to Monica Lewinsky. Okay. I hadn't thought before. But when you see just how young she is and things, she's
a baby and he's just a perv. Bill Clinton's gross. Okay, soaking. Yeah, so it's soaking allegedly. So I think this dude was maybe soaking. I think he thought if he put it in a tub after a lady was in there, he was soaking. I don't know. I find it hard to believe. Where does he live, and how were these young women this hard up that they thought this was the way to go? Was it at some kind of church camp where they all were hard up?
I know. I was just going to say.
Crazy.
Well, one time at church camp, was one of those. Either stick it in or not. Don't waste my time. Care Bear 77. Love
Seriously.
it.
Seriously. So then she takes a sip of wine. He's like, "Are you serious?" And this is 2 episodes ago, And I
Yes.
thought, what a just
Isn't
like someone like this who would want you to move and do all these things and change your religion. And she's doing this allegedly. And then you go off and you're just forgetting about the good book, the Book of Mormon. You're just, whatever, pick and choosing what you want to believe in.
Right.
You're soaking your wiener. And she takes a sip of wine and he's like, "Oh, just because I break the sacraments doesn't mean you can." It's like, you hypocritical POS. Like, leave this girl alone.
I know.
I wish, I
She's
just
so
wish I could
young.
teach a class to young women. Like, don't do what I did when I was young. Like, we all could as older women, which I guess
Yes.
moms tried to do, but you're not going to
Yes.
listen. But maybe if it's not from your mom, you would.
Right.
Like,
Then
a red flag class. Like, red flag, this guy is a walking red flag. I would have certain cases and I would teach in a big lecture hall or even online because of COVID. And I would just show you bits and pieces, documentary style, of red flag dudes. Has a dude ever said something like this to you? I would either have real life
Yeah.
examples or they could act it out. These are
Yeah.
red flags. These are when you run. These are when you run because
I
he's
know.
a walking red
You
flag.
are not in love. You are infatuated or just plain horny. Run. Okay.
Yeah, I would have chugged the bottle. I would have chugged the bottle. I would have got drunk and
Yes.
barfed
No
on
kidding.
them.
No
I was
kidding.
done.
I know. Wine has never been my friend nor my choice of drink.
Ugh.
But I didn't mention, but there's an awful lot of wineries as we drove by, and I was surprised at that.
Yeah.
In Iowa, in Tennessee, just a lot of wineries out there. Welcome
her
back.
mom was
Thank you.
great. I think her mom, the way she looks too, reminded me of a younger Nana.
Oh, really?
Like back in like the 80s, like her, I don't know, just with her
Yeah.
glasses and stuff.
Yeah,
I was like,
kind of.
I can see a little Nana, but her poor mom was like, I gotta leave her. She's crying when she leaves because he had so much candy and all he was feeding her was chocolate and lies. And the mom knew, and she's just thinking, this, he's talking about the future and the kids. You're still a kid. You are not gonna, and this is gonna, our values. You have no values right now. According to your values, you're not doing the values.
Not at all. When I saw that mom and I saw that pain in her face, turning around and having to leave her daughter there, I don't know. I think I would have just swept her up and said, "You're going. I got a ticket. Let's go."
I know. It's I felt so bad for her mom, and she's hugging her, and then he's in there with a 3-way hug. I'm like, Mom don't want to hug you. She wants to stab you, sir. She's like, "Pre-bed on out of here." She don't want to talk to you.
She doesn't
Get out
want
of there.
any part of this.
He didn't even when he brought her to the airport, he had like lounging / basketball shorts on. I'm just thinking he's just a mess.
He is not respectful, and just the Mormon teachings and stuff, that's number one, the respect. And he had none of that, or any type of religion or faith-based thing. Would be to respect yourself and respect others around you.
Yeah, and let her have a little bit of rosé if you're gonna soak your wiener in half a dozen ladies. Okay,
that's right. Now I like this. Maria to Southside says Joleen has to experience life. It does not matter if we share. And we can share until we're blue in the face, and everyone
people are going to do what they're going to do.
Yes, they are. Yes,
and
they are.
Love is a weird thing, and when you're young, you always think he'll change, he'll be different. I see a side of him no one else does, and on a rare occasion you do, but most cases he needs years to grow, and you're going to have to put up with all this BS to even see if he'll even get to a point where he'll be worth it.
Well, it's just constant lying. Honey, you're so young. You're so beautiful, innocent. Go back home and find somebody. And she's from Russia, correct? Yes. Go find someone from Russia. I mean, you'd be better off. So did we... okay. So
I think we talked about everything with them. He's just a walking contradiction. He's a hypocrite. He is like, please, I'll prove myself. Let me prove myself. And she's probably thinking, all right, I might have the upper hand here because she shared with him like, hey, have you been talking to this person? And you could see his face is like, he wasn't going to admit it. He's going to keep lying.
He just keeps lying.
He had said like, bring your swimsuit, winky face. And she said, why did you even reply back? I told you to get rid of your social media accounts. And he said,
hasn't yet.
He's not. He didn't. And he said, well, I was just being nice. No. This is a typical line of a guy who lies and cheats. In my experience, they want to gaslight you and make you feel like you're cuckoo. I can't be nice to another woman. I can't. No, I'm sorry. When you're in a relationship and a random hot chick messages you and you do winky face and you talk about bikinis, no, you can't do that. That's disrespectful.
Yeah.
You cannot do that. But when you're young, you're like, maybe I am being
Terribly.
closed-minded. Maybe it's normal for him to, act like this. Maybe they want to seem like you're the one with the problem, but it's like, no, sir.
No, sir, you have the problem. So let's say, Stephen, if you can just cut that hair and glue it to your chest with Gorilla Glue, I highly recommend it.
Oh, Susan said he didn't open the door for her mom or offer to carry her back. It's
there
just
you go.
Gross. And he was the first one to eat the chocolates, I think, too.
He is not worthy of someone right now. He does not have his stuff together.
Nana, what did you think when he wanted her mom to convert while he's soaking?
Stop it. Stop it. Do you get $1.50 a head? What are you doing, Stephen? People have their own faith.
Why should she change? Why should the mom change? You weirdo. Is this
for this?
What do they call that? Is this a mission trip or is this a relationship or is this what do they call? We try to is it a conversion trip or what?
Right.
Like, quit going and telling people they have to do stuff for you. I get if you're going to be in a relationship. Yes, it makes sense down the road. If faith in religion is very important to you, you want to make sure you're on the same page with your significant other, for the kids' sake, for sure. But with her mom, why does her mom got to be a Mormon? Let her be whatever she wants.
Mom doesn't. Mom wants to be someone who takes their daughter back home, get on the plane and go. Yeah. Stephen gets a convert finder fee. Yep. There you go.
So. I think so. He's like, who's going to soak today?
Can we just talk about that Turkish bath? That was freaky. What a weird place to take someone.
Why was he saying he had, I was like in and out of watching that scene. Did he say you had to be quiet or something?
Yeah, because it echoes in there and everyone can hear anything, He
might fart. What if he had to fart again?
Well, then he'd have to run back to this backyard with his mom and dad. Miss M, thank you. Welcome back, Nana. She said that's so nice. But seriously, he must, and then he goes like he's helpless. Can you hand me that? Can you hand me that little, so I can splash water in my face, that little bowl? And she looks at him like, what? Will you splash water on me? She hands him the bowl like, here. He's just not worth it. There are a few on this show that just aren't worth it. He being one of them. I hope by this time or in a few months or whenever this has been filmed that we find out that they've separated and she went back home to people who really love her.
Someone in the chat was saying they think she's going to BYU online, the big Mormon school, Brigham Young, or is that, it's not called Brigham Young, or is it? It's called Brigham. Okay, I didn't pronounce it.
Yes. No, I think you did.
It's not Brigham Young.
Well, I believe it is.
Is it?
I believe it is, but there is an old joke like that too.
Is that what it's called? Because that's
Brigham, Brigham, Brigham.
Brigham, like no, Brigham, like Brigham, Young, not Brigham Young, but it's how I pronounce it. Brigham Young. I can't even say it.
Yum.
I can't even say it. But the only thing I know about this school is Julie from the Real World. I think it was New Orleans back in the day. She went there, and I was so into the Real World because it started like when I was a teenager. Well, when I was younger, like when I was like 13 or something. I think I was 12. The first season aired, and then so by the time it was Julie's season, the first New Orleans season, she was a Mormon. I think there were 2 Mormons on that season, and she went to BYU, and they were going to expel her for being possibly on the Real World.
Oh, so that's really? So very, very strict.
Brigham Young.
And there was an old joke like that, and I just,
gross. Ew. Okay. Yes. So like this.
Brigham and I did. Yeah. Thank you.
Yes. Julie went on to do like a couple seasons of Real World versus Road Rules, the challenge, the early years. So little crossover reality talk. Well,
may I just mention when we first got to our room in Altoona, the TV wasn't working. So I went down and asked the woman, TV's not working. She came down to the room. She's fixing it. Between her and Paul, they got it working. Okay. Switch. Because I was trying to find Bravo. I was trying to keep up. And I said to the girl, do you have Bravo? She goes, what's Bravo? I go, this is Altoona, Iowa. Okay, you got to have Bravo. But anyway.
Did they have TLC for 40 or for 90 days?
I couldn't, every time I went to 90 day, every time I went to TLC, it was below deck. Okay. When I was in the room. But what I thought about you and Bill is I watched like an hour and a half. It was late at night, Saved by the Bell. So anyway, I thought of you and Bill. That's one of your favorite.
Speaking of below deck, next Tuesday, Up and Adam, we always talk about, we have our stale tea with Up and Adam on our Married to Bravo.
Yes.
Down with Jason. I'm going to be with Down with Jason. That's his husband, right? Like they're little lovebirds, sweeties. I don't know if they're engaged or they're married. I don't pry too much.
Okay.
But I'm going to be on his show. He's doing a new like anchor watch or something.
Oh, when is this? Can I write this down?
Next Tuesday, I think at 8 p.m. my time. So me and
Tuesday,
Down with Jason and another comedian guy, one of his
And
friends.
what date is that, honey? November 2nd?
I don't know. I'm not sure. So maybe then when you're here, we'll go on together. You'd have to watch a little below deck. They're engaged. Oh, so sweet. They're so cute.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I love those two. They're so cute.
We'd have to watch below deck because why?
Well, the show's about below deck because I said I used to watch it and I'm going to start watching it again so I can talk to them. But yeah, and Up and Adam just had an interview with Kathy Hilton. He got the first like YouTube. Like she doesn't do many interviews. It was great.
I was going to say, how did he do that? That's wonderful.
She loves them.
I just want to know what date that is. If you can just double check it for me. If it's November 2nd.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you again. Why? You got something going on that day?
Yes, I was just saying that I have to go to Cub and get my colon prep. You have to drink all that Gatorade and stuff because on November 3rd, I'm having a colonoscopy.
Okay, so
I'll be watching it.
I'll give you a shout out.
On the toilet. Yes.
Shout out to Nana who's prepping for her colonoscopy. She's below deck right now. She's anchor watch with Nana. She's anchored to the toilet.
She's anchored to the toilet, but it's a good thing, everyone. Just use those, get those checks, to keep healthy. And anyway.
Yes. So I'll be collabing with Jason, which I'm so excited for. And then there might be something with me and Adam in the future. But the thing I could collab with him on now, he's so sweet, is during my work hours. That darn day job gets in the way because he's got like a hot, messy topics thing. I think it's like 3 p.m. my time, but
yeah,
I work till 5 technically, so I can do a lunch thing occasionally, but I can't.
Yeah, that's hard to do. That would be terribly hard to do. But you get to be with his partner and do this.
Jason, yeah, he's so cute and he's so sweet, and I love watching their channels. So we always shout them out because they're just the cutest, and like Empire.
Yes, Empire. Oh my gosh, all of them.
All the sweeties who aren't big weirdos like the rest of these people.
And I haven't, I haven't watched anything really. I didn't even spend much time on my tab. I liked a few things on Facebook, and then it's different nowadays. When we would travel before and have to get on the Wi-Fi, there was this whole long thing you had to do in order to get on. What's your name? What's your social? No, they don't ask social, but your address. They want to know everything, even though you're a guest in the hotel. It was a lot of hoops you had to jump through. No, I was just kidding. I was in Social Security. I was just kidding. But there was a lot of hoops you had to do. So I would always ask, how do I get on the Wi-Fi? Oh, it's real simple. You just get on your settings, click, and then we'll pop up, and then you just add. And I went, that's it? I mean, back in the day.
It's pretty easy, yeah.
Well, back in the day, it really wasn't. Or maybe
no,
it
wasn't.
Just me.
They've made it. I think it's easier now.
Because there was even places that I have gone where they said you can only hook up one phone or one iPad,
Yes,
or you're going to
and
be
then
charged.
charged, exactly. Shan says, "I only catch
Please.
hot, messy topics on Fridays, 3 p.m. Pacific is awkward." Yeah, if you could just tell Adam if he could change his whole schedule for me, that would be so kind.
That would
So
be great. And then somebody get a hold of Brian Christopher for me and say, come back to Minnesota. Okay.
Yeah, we love Jason. We love Down with Jason. Okay, so who's the next couple we should talk about?
Okay, now we got done.
I want to end on Jenny and Summit because theirs was
well.
the
Then we're jumping
craziest.
over this page. Then we're going to go to Ariel and Benny.
Ugh, not Areola. Okay,
Areola and Benny. Now, Benny looks guilty. Okay, I don't know what you're doing, Benny, but you look guilty.
He's partying. He's lonely. You know, he's just so lonely. Heaven forbid he stay home for a little bit.
You would be better off not accepting those phone calls, or at least not a FaceTime, because you look guilty. She calls him and his phone is off. Why would you turn your phone off? I was in the backyard. I was at the gym. I was downstairs. I couldn't get
in the
phone.
basement. He's in Bob's basement too.
He's in Bob's basement. Good. Pick up a trade. Carpentry is wonderful. She was not happy that he was hanging in the clubs, nor would I be.
No.
When she's gone, he finally picks up his phone. And he looks so surprised when he sees her. It was ridiculous. When are you coming back to Ethiopia? I think you're having a great time without me, she said. I don't know why I should be coming back.
They're so immature, and their parents. I hate their relationship. It's so immature. They're like trying to make each other jealous. They can't trust each other. Her son's about to have a major surgery. She's on a bottom bunk, worried about her dumb husband being at the club. Grow up. I'm so over these two too.
She really did right by saying, I'm taking my child to the States to have surgery. I applaud her for that. Now just stay here. Do not go back.
Her parents want her. Her sister was very blunt with her. Her sister's like, you need to grow up. You need to wake up. We want to be around this kid. We want to be around Avi. Like, what is going? And she was like, I don't know. I feel like she's just, Areola is one of those people, one of those kids. She's always got something to prove. You know, she's like, I'll show you. I'll ruin my whole life and show you. I feel like that's her.
I think it very well could be her. She doesn't do anything for me, especially when she brought in, he could take this time with her being gone to get a job. There you go. Yep. There you go. Instead of having mommy and daddy foot the bill over there. Yeah.
Their baby is so cute though. Like the cutest baby.
He is. And at first I thought it was a girl.
No, it's a little boy.
Yeah.
Avi. Mm-hmm.
I know. The name, I thought it was more feminine. I thought it was a girl's name.
Nope, gender neutral. Avi. He's so cute. But you could tell her family wants her back. You know, her brothers are there. Her brothers, the first time they're meeting little Avi, and he was so happy. And Grandpa and Grandma are there. And what's up with Grandpa's ears? Why are they so red? I was worried about Grandpa. Do you see that scene?
No, sometimes when people drink alcohol or coffee, they get a flushing. You know, it could be high blood pressure. Mm-hmm. Is a doctor in the house? No, she's not here tonight.
Dr. Melanie?
I wish she was.
Well, maybe she'll watch it later on the rewatch. Put it in the comments, Dr. Melanie.
Find out. But usually, because I remember when I would drink wine, you know, I would always get real red here. I don't know why it would go to your ears.
Yeah.
Ears to you.
It does sound like the way her family does speak, what Haru is saying, her sister's a birch, a place where is safe. Yeah. That you are like, they're doing that American thing that Americans do where they just assume that America's the safest. It's not. And so all these other people living in Ethiopia, so they're not safe at all. They're not getting a good education. And that's what the sister did. What I took away from it was that they want to be closer to the baby and see her, but they were doing it in a really shitty way and acting as though this kid's not going to learn anything. This kid, and it's like, that's not true. And you don't know because you guys don't know shit about Ethiopia. So let's not pretend you do, you know?
Yes. Yeah. That's a true story. Yeah. I would think that we were ahead of other countries in education, but I might be wrong.
Us, America?
Yes.
We're not ahead of barely anybody. We are, it's bad.
See, I'm still in the old school thinking that, but I just, as I was gone, I always checked my, it's a St. Paul site for crimes happening in Minnesota. Well, it's the Wild West. It is just shoot 'em up.
Well, that's the thing. People just, they want to make Americans say these ridiculous things when they know nothing about the rest of the world, and they want to put us number one at these things. Most other people in other countries and continents, they don't want anything to do with living over here, the craziness we got going on. So, you know, it's just what you're familiar with. So your own crazy and your own thing is something you can kind of deal with versus someone else's or somewhere else's. But Nanya said, I'm 100% on Benny's side. If someone coming at me crazy, airplane mode. Airplane mode.
And I never, here's another thing. That airplane mode freaks me out because I think you have to put it on airplane mode when you're on an airplane. Is that a falsehood?
I put it on airplane mode when I'm on an airplane. Yeah.
I have done that, but I can't get at the internet then. So,
oh yeah. We'll talk offline. We'll talk offline.
Thanks so much.
Kristen says, in Eastern medicine, red ears indicate an issue with the kid. Oh,
okay. Okay. Well, you know, I didn't know. I just know that when I did drink and when I would have a glass of wine, it would just make me flushed, you know, and hot ears.
Yes, having a baby, exactly, with a foreigner, you're going to disappoint someone's family because someone has to move to the place. So you have to pick one of the two people in the relationship, pick one of their homes to live in, or you live in, you know, a completely different country. But if it's a situation like this where you're picking one, then the American family is going to be pissed because you're not there. And if you pick America, the Ethiopian, because I mean, his sisters would be devastated if they left and went over there and to lose their little nephew.
Most definitely. Most definitely. And those
we're only ranked, what says 26 regarding education globally. So we're not doing very well. We're not doing well.
And here I am, you know, not self-righteous, but brought up in a time where we were told America is number one.
Propaganda, Nana. It's that propaganda. We love it here in America. We love it.
But it was, you know, a number one in manufacturing, number one in this, number one in that. So I still have that.
Yeah, I understand
in my head from the 60s. From
hell yeah.
You know, you're in the grade
school.
You
to believe this is the greatest everything is so great. It's all propaganda. Like, come on, we got to be realistic.
But I think America is great, or it can be. Well, I think it can be.
There's certain aspects that work and there's certain aspects that don't. But if we're just in this, if they keep propaganda saying we're the greatest and everyone wants to be us, it's like, they don't. And if we don't address the issues that we have to improve, then we won't improve. And then we just kind of keep going and it works because right now, obviously, what's working is, you know, the rich people love America, okay? Because they get to keep their money. They don't got to pay no tax. They don't got to pay they love it. They love it. They love this. They get richer. We get poor. You know, we don't want to get too political here, but it is that propaganda that from a young age, I feel like I heard too, where it's like America's the best, and then you're like, but I know lots of Canadians, and they're killing it, and they got healthcare, and they got a whole bunch of stuff that we could take their ideas, and they're like, oh no, the Canadians, they hate it, they got to wait 10 years for a heart, and I was like, I'm pretty sure they don't, because I know actual Canadians, but they just that's what we do in America. We just they tell us stuff, and then we go, well, I guess that sounds about right, you know.
They have such, I mean, their health care, I mean, ours is crap.
It's horrendous.
It is horrendous.
Brooke says she wants him to sit in the house by himself while she's in the U.S. Listen, they're both horrible, Brooke. I agree with you. He could look for a job. She could look for a job too, but she's a privileged gal that comes, her parents take care of everything. And so I don't even know if she's ever worked or what she does. She seems to just travel and marry people and get herself into situations. But I think they're both just really immature, and they both
it's so bad.
Just want to fight with each other about very dumb middle school shit and make each other jealous. They both can't be trusted.
They're big jealousy people. Big jealousy.
Yes.
Ari may have intended to get away from her family, DGF is saying. I
Yeah.
think
American exceptionalism is the biggest gaslighting ever. It really is. It
but
really is.
when you talk to someone my age,
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking, you're in your 60s. I'm going to be 67 next month.
Yay,
so you're in
Nana.
your later 60s. This is how we were brought up. We were told America's number one in this, so number, and that's, in my heart, I still want to believe it. And then after going through that Civil Rights Museum,
we're not.
I am appalled. I just, not that I didn't know these things happen.
Look at this, Nana.
Canadian insurance covers 1 free massage a month. Well, no wonder Canadians are mellow. I'd be mellow too if I was getting a massage. They seem to be, they're happy people. No,
not all of them.
No, I know. But
there's that stereotype that they're just, drinking maple syrup and smiling on a moose while getting a massage, watching hockey. There's just like, that's what we think. Well, that's just Edmonton. That's just Edmonton. That's not the rest. There's a whole country.
That's not the rest of the country. Okay. Because when I went up there to fish, now mind you, this is back in 1991, very, I don't know, very friendly. Of course, they want your business and stuff.
Said, not true, DGF, I wish.
Oh.
Shan is in van, like she knows.
So, anyway.
All right, so
here we go.
We don't want to get too political and piss people off. We're not saying we don't like America. We're just saying we can look at things with a critical eye. Okay. All right. Here we go.
Yeah, we can, and then we can do the applause for America.
I love Edmonton. I always compare Edmonton to Minnesota because when I did shows up there, I swear, because I was in the mall at the Rick Bronson's or the House, I don't know what they call it there. Is it the House of Comedy? And the Edmonton people were just like Minnesotans. They came in their Carhartt. They drink beer real fast. They got a great mall, just down to earth. Like, I feel it was very Minnesotan.
And our Mall of America was fashioned after theirs.
Yeah.
So that's why, yes. That's why it's so good, because Edmonton did it first.
Hell yeah. Shout out to Edmonton.
Yes. His friends, we're going back to Benny. His friends are too important to him, she thinks. Could you not turn off your phone till I get back, she says, after she's talking to him. She thinks he's up to something. America is the greatest. Thanks, Vanessa. We truly agree with that, too. I'm
on the fence.
I'll wave my flag. Ariel has been gone 30 days. Yep. He's out with his friends at the gym, and then all of a sudden he's at a prayer type meeting, and then they go to the gym, and then they're having some cocktails, all guys together. His friend said that he has more laws than most. There's the 10 Commandments, and then there's Aries orders. I thought that was kind of funny.
And his friend said that she's jelly too.
She's jealous, yeah. And Benny admitted she's gotten more jealous as the relationship has gone on because you've given her reason to. You guys quit bringing in your exes. They don't belong in your relationship at all.
You should have stayed married to him if you wanted to be with him, Ariola, and also Benny.
That's right. So. And I'm really kind of done with them. What do you think? We'll move on?
Yeah, I'm done with them too.
Good luck. We love you.
Good luck. All right, should we go to Armando and Kenny?
Yes.
Did you call him Mondo?
No, Armando. I didn't call him Mondo.
Remember my friend Mondo?
I was just going to say that.
I knew you were thinking that. Okay.
I know. His real
name was Armando. Yep.
I really liked him.
Really love their house. I kept taking pictures of their
I love their house too, because I love what you guys got going out west, and Arizona, the Southwest, California. Those red tiles are so I love the look of that.
It's just so beautiful.
That looks futuristic.
The ocean's right behind them.
Yes, I mean, it's a beautiful place to stay. I don't know, or to live. I always like that. To stay. I'm just staying at different places.
They were having issues with their washing machine, so they went down to the laundromat. It didn't look like they had much laundry though, but they stay on top of it. Because whenever I had to go to a laundromat back in the day, I would wait until I had like bins of it to go.
I'm only staying up to fluff and fold tonight, and then I'm going to bed.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
I am excited about I'm taking everything out and sorting, just having a great time with my laundry.
You know what's more embarrassing, Shan, is I have an Evander Kane jersey. So I wish I would. I think I have an Evander. Do I have an Evander Kane jersey? Let me just make sure I do.
Okay.
Um,
And who is
okay.
Evander Kane?
So yes, I do have an Evander. So I like the Sharks, right?
Oh, yes. Okay. All right.
San Jose, I like the Minnesota Wild, my favorite hockey team in the whole wide world, forever and ever. I always will love the Phoenix or the Arizona, the Coyotes, you know, go Yotes because I lived in Arizona. But then I for a California team, I really like the Sharks. And me and Chell got jerseys, and I decided to get Evander Kane years ago. And now there's just a whole bunch of stuff that's come out about this guy and
about him. Okay.
About him as a player. Yeah. So, so
he's still in the game.
I think he just got suspended for like 21 games or something.
Okay.
But yeah. Kenny, Tickle Pink is saying, Kenny's truly, tell us your Nana notes. What do you got on these two?
Yes, Tickle Pink. I just felt so bad for Kenny. He's calling his girls. He's talking to them on FaceTime. The girls can see that he's stressed. They ask him, Dad, you know, what do you think about this pregnancy? Because his daughter's pregnant again.
She had her baby on the 22nd.
Oh, she did.
A little boy. They're posting pictures on social media. So adorable. I think he was like 8 pounds something. Little boy. And Kenny's back there with them. There's pictures of Kenny.
Oh, see, and he misses his kids and grandkids so much.
He does.
He has Kenny seems like he has such a caring heart to me. But when he's calling his girls, he does look terribly stressed. He's so happy that his family is coming. They are coming to the wedding. And that's I love that they're coming to the wedding. But he misses that baby. And what's the baby's name? Cooper? No, Cooper is the little boy. Cooper, he misses Cooper because he's been there since the time he was born. Yeah. And now all of a sudden Cooper's 5. So I think my heart broke for him. Yes.
Yeah. And then this story of them wanting another child and them going to look at adoption, which I think is great, even though we know, as Kristen's saying, Kenny doesn't want another child. He's got adult children, he's got grandkids. But here's the thing, you marry someone that young, in a way, I think Armando kind of with the big wedding and now the kid thing, Kenny already came to the country. You're going to have to give on something. He's doing the wedding. He doesn't really want to do this big wedding. He moved to Mexico. So maybe the kid isn't the best idea. So he wants a surrogate because he kind of wants one that is from Kenny. Armando wants, because Hannah's his. And then he's like, I want a child with your blood. But they go to meet, I guess, some children for possible adoption. And they're children who have HIV. And I guess in my dumb mind, I never once thought about terminally ill kids needing adoption. I don't know why this didn't cross my mind in 41 years, but it didn't. I never thought like, oh yeah, there's children out there with, serious terminal illnesses who need to be adopted. So they have like a whole care facility, which again, HIV, AIDS, very different story than the what Kenny was telling us when he first came out and in the 80s and how, me and Chell walked in as I was watching this part and Chell's like, it's so tragic because it's literally like, we don't know. Cause you were alive during that time, Nana, but I was alive, but I was so young. And I remember the days of Ryan White, which was the young boy that got, AIDS through a blood transfusion. And there was the Ryan White story and people were just terrified and people were cruel and nobody gave a shit. And it wasn't right until like Ronald Reagan's friend got AIDS that he did something about it. So there was basically a pandemic killing gay men mostly. Throughout America, creating havoc on this community of people, and no one seemed to care or want to do anything because they were like, well, they're gay men, maybe they just stopped being gay.
They wanted to be far away from it. That's right.
And so you hear these stories of men and women who are older now who had, complete friend groups and wiped out due to the AIDS and HIV epidemic.
Yes.
Now it's a different story with medication, and you're all able to, live a healthy life, and they've come so far scientifically. But you think of these kids in Mexico, and there's still this stigma that they were talking about. And then I don't
Right.
know, like Kenny said, what the medication is like in Mexico for these kids, and
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. I found that very sad.
Yeah. So Reagan didn't mention HIV or AIDS until 3 years after the epidemic. So can you imagine like that? I just watched me and Chell got HBO Max. We shared don't tell nobody, our Paramount Plus login with our friends, Andy and Alex, and they shared their
nice.
HBO Max with
Well,
us.
that's the only way people can afford it.
So I was like, we should watch something fun before we go to bed. So we watched the 4-hour documentary of the insurrection, which, oh my God, definitely watch it, but it'll piss you off all over again. And I can't believe that like just happened. But it's similar to how long it took Trump to say, hey, maybe you want to stop doing that. But it kind of reminded me of this thing with Reagan, where it took like Whit saying, I mean, years before he would do or say anything or people recognize because of the homophobia that surrounded this. And had it happened to straight people, they would have been on this shit. If straight couples were dying due to a sexually transmitted disease like this, oh my God, they would have shut down the country.
Yes.
So it's just hearing this part was so, I was like, I don't want to watch this. Like, and I'm like, Joleen, you have to watch it. Like, people lived this shit. You can watch it. But seeing these beautiful kids, and I'm just like, please adopt them. And then I'm thinking, why did you go if you're not gonna? Because then they're gonna think. And when the lady said, don't tell them you're gonna adopt them unless you're really going to, I was like, oh my God.
I know. I mean, we treat our pets better. Are you kidding me?
Really?
We treat our pets better than this. And Haru is saying, but Armando needs to understand that Kenny has done a lot by relocation for them. Yes, he has. And just the idea of up and leaving his whole family to be with Armando, the person he said he loves, that's huge. That's huge. But I couldn't do that. I don't think I could ever do that.
No.
To go to another country.
Yeah.
The things we do for love. Okay.
Jennifer Love Spewed said, I'm only 50 and there is only me and one other friend from my group in my 20s who are still alive. We were just the lucky ones. It is such a, and I don't think it's fully, and I'm just speaking for myself, I don't think it's fully understood how serious it was. And I remember just being a kid in the 80s. And again, I didn't really know about it until Ryan White, until a little kid from, I forget what state he lived in,
I'm trying to
got it
too.
And then I think they did a movie about it, and Elton John, he was this Candle in the Wind originally about that, or was that just always about Marilyn Monroe and Princess
I think
Di?
it was always about, but then
Marilyn Monroe
took that same song and
yeah, but he did so much. I mean, for I remember celebrities in the 80s and early 90s doing stuff for AIDS research. Yes.
Liz Taylor was huge on this. She was huge on this. She, when you find somebody with such a voice, that reaches a lot of people. And like someone had said in the chat also that Rock Hudson.
That's Pat saying it, revealed he had AIDS. Rock was a friend of Ronnie and Nancy's, and it's crazy how we have that. There's that thing still that some people and a lot of our leaders, regardless of party, have. If they're not affected by it, they don't give a shit. And that, unfortunately, a lot of people don't have empathy until they're affected by something, and that's
absolutely, absolutely. Until it touches them, they can't reach their heart out, or they can't see that this is hurting other people.
Kenny and Armando did a GoFundMe, Nana, for the orphanage after Rella saying they raised 13. I knew they'd do something good out of this, but this was a hard one.
Oh my gosh, they are. They're wonderful.
Did you ever think about that, Nana? Like, there's HIV kids out there who are orphans. I just didn't.
There's a lot of
the privilege of not even thinking about. I never thought of it that.
There's a lot of things in life that you learn as you get older, and then you kind of forget and you kind of relearn. Yeah. But that was one of them for me too. I Oh, my
Miss
brother died
Reed.
at
See, it
29
was
in
such a serious,
1991. Oh my gosh.
crazy. I mean, yes. Yes, I remember that Liz Taylor, Michael Jackson, both. Ryan White was just the story of this young boy, and
Yes.
you know how he was treated. And at the time, people were like, you can transfer this through water fountains, and if you
Right.
cough, and they really thought it was like airborne. Like there was all these misconceptions, and nobody was doing anything. I should say, from a leadership standpoint, it looked to put out good information, and so that there wasn't this, you know, crazy stigma, and it just was that's a really dark time. But yeah, I like
It
them that
is.
they did that for this orphanage.
Yeah, Wendy
Right.
Lynn says, yes, they are my favorite couple. And I agree. They are my favorite couple too. Anytime they're on, I'll sit there and listen to everything that they have to say. And I am just, I mean, Kenny, just you break my heart when you say you're missing your grandson
I
and your
know.
daughters. It just, and you can see it in his face, and and his daughters can see that. And his daughters asked, Dad, is there such a thing where you guys would move to the States? And he says, no, Armando wouldn't do that because his parents are here, and his daughter, he wants his daughter to grow up in Mexico. But someone else said on the chat, maybe they could half and half it or something, as the child, their child gets older, Armando's daughter, then maybe they could do some time in the States too.
Yeah, Jennifer Love Spewitt is saying there's still such a stigma, despite it being, so many advances in,
Yes.
treatment and stuff around, AIDS and HIV. So it's just, it's just awful. But yeah,
They look like they care for one another very deeply, and they're the
they
only ones I
belong on
put.
this show because I love to see them on it because they're very, stable and loving, like you're saying, Nana, but I'm almost like scared what this show would do to them,
Yeah, I hope not, and I hope they're getting paid good money, because then
They're
maybe they
not.
would be. No, I was
No,
thinking
these
then
people don't get
maybe
paid well.
they could afford another place, maybe in the States. Of course, he's got his daughters there; they could always visit
But
there.
maybe in the summer they could maybe they could do, because yeah, I mean, if they're doing well for themselves, I don't know with Armando's job, but maybe they could do the school year in Mexico and then maybe summer in the US with his family, or I
Yes,
don't
just
know.
to, it's really hard when you know um, you have this child that and I know Armando always thinks first of her, which I applaud, as a good
Of
parenting
Hannah, yeah.
skills. But
Mhm.
I applaud that. But I mean, you can just see that Kenny is hurting, and he finally does sit down and he talks to him, and you can see Armando's face. He's like, "What are you going to tell me?" He was a little nervous, like he was going to call off the wedding.
Yeah,
So
I would be too, because Kenny looked so distraught, and he's like, when someone wants to talk to you like that, I do that with Nana because she'll have bad news for me, or let's say someone passes away, we know, or something, and she'll, Joe, I gotta tell you, and I'm like, just spit it out,
I
because like
know,
it's agonizing to sit there.
I know, I just never know how to say
No,
it.
I know it's
You
no
just don't
easy
want,
way,
right,
but Nana's
right.
like, Joe, okay, you're not gonna like this, and I'm like, oh god. Well, I don't want to be. Is Chell there? And I'm like, oh my god, spit it out. She's like,
I know.
this.
What are you going to
I
tell
was
me,
like,
Mom?
tell me.
Yes,
Wit says, I go to
please.
school for public health. So many people don't understand transmissibility. Typically, HIV is not detectable enough to spread through sweat, spit, or tears. Yeah, I think there's still a lot of misconceptions, because one of my best friends, his boyfriend, he used to work for years and years, because he is a RN, but he worked first through like AIDS. I don't know the foundation he worked in, but it was a lot of like helping certain communities and people who had HIV and AIDS, and making sure they had the right information, and making sure they were getting the right medication and stuff like that. So when they came to visit, I was talking to him about previously being in that position, and I was learning a whole bunch of stuff, and I'm like, dang,
I
and
know.
it's, yeah.
I love to listen to people, even though I like
Mhm.
to talk a lot. Sometimes I just sit back and listen to, and that's what that Martin Luther King Museum was all about, just sitting back and listening. And it was just, well.
So not like Dorit from Beverly Hills. I mean, like, oh, I have, we'll talk about that Friday. But yeah, we have a lot to talk about.
And I got to catch up. Am I too behind? Which one are they on?
2. The 3rd reunion is coming this Wednesday.
Okay, good. So I only have to watch number 2. I've watched the first one. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And we've reported on the first one. Now we do 2 and 3. Okay. Didn't get too far. Didn't get too far behind it.
Yeah. So overall, anything else with these 2?
Well, Swick Picks is saying, I have sad news. She goes,
your dad.
My father.
Yeah. My dad's even worse than Nana. If you can get actual worse than Nana. I mean, I'm just like, what in the frick? These people do not know how to. Me and my brother always like, we told our parents, if there's something sad, tell one of us so I can call my brother. Like, I called my brother when our cousin passed away, because I knew that I just could say, because they'll do this thing where they go, well, in Bill's first head, for his mind goes as a parent, one of his kids, and Nana had, I think you were taking care of one of the kids.
I suppose,
she passed, and not the kid, but our cousin Emily. And so I just said, your kids are okay. Here's what happened. And I just got right to it, because it's never easy to say that kind of thing. But I also didn't want him to have to get, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. It's all bad news. It's all bad news. But yeah. So
you guys always say to me, just spit it out, Nana. You don't have to preface it. You don't have to preface it with a bunch of other things. Just say what it is, and we'll deal with that. So, and GGF says you must visit the Equal Justice Initiative Museum in Montgomery, Alabama, but not in summer months. Memorial is outside and it's powerful. Yes. Now I've never been to Alabama.
I don't know if I have. I feel like I was supposed to do a comedy show in Alabama, but I don't remember.
Yeah. It just, certain things open your eyes again. You can kind of just live blindly through your life, if that makes any sense, and think life is good, and away you go. And then you're taken back like this. And it just, it's very reflective. It was very, very moving. Okay. Armando and Kenny, we love you. I'm glad
we love you. You're great.
Did the laundry, and you look like a couple that knows how to sort laundry. I applaud you for that.
They look like a couple that knows. Look at these cute little button-ups they got on.
I know. They dress nice.
Sweeties.
They treat each other nice. It's none of this. You're not seeing this petty jealousy that you're seeing with the rest of these people. You just aren't seeing it.
They're thinking of like the greater good. And you're like, oh, okay. The pettiest thing they have is Armando wants a big wedding. Like that's.
I know, but that's
over.
I think that's
youth. These weirdos.
I think that's youth.
Well, and I think he was married before, but it was a marriage, unfortunately, that he felt forced into because he was closeted, and he had to be because he couldn't be his true self. So this will technically be his first wedding as his true self. So I don't blame him. And he's 32 for wanting that, if that's always been his dream with, his soulmate. But Kenny's like older, and he's like, oh man, let's go on a trip or something. Like, let's do anything else. But
get a new couch, forget the big reception. Okay.
Yeah.
Summit and Jenny.
So,
that's our last. That is our last one. Now, Summit, are you growing your hair out, or what's going on here, honey? Can you tuck it behind your ears or something? You're not looking as cute as you once did. I think you need a nice haircut.
I don't think he was ever that cute, man.
Well, no, but
you always
I don't
say
wanna,
that. But
I know I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings.
Is the mom. Who's
she
really
is
mean. She's so mean.
Horrible. She can say something in her language. And what language is it? Indian?
Yes. She now I'm like trying to play Hindi. No, correct us, you guys, in the chat, so we don't correct our
I know, please.
But she's talking, and she was like, you're useless, and Jenny's like, I think she likes me.
I think she likes me. We're getting along like we used to. This is nice. It was so bad and she was smiling to her when she'd say it. You're useless. I mean,
I like you.
Oh, isn't that sweet? So Mom is cooking with Jenny. Do you know how to knead flour? I can try, she said. Mom says you are useless. I mean, I'm sorry. That really is.
He was like, can you do anything right? And Jenny's like, I think we're going to be best friends. I think we're going to be besties for the resties,
I
because
think
they
we're
go
doing great.
to this therapist, and the therapist is like, trying to talk to both of them, or all four of them. But these parents, they hate Jenny. They hate how old she is. They think she's a grandma. She's going to embarrass the family. She's not going about like they'd like to culturally. They don't like her. And he is the worst problem of all. Well, Jenny's her own problem because she should have left a long time ago, but he is a problem because he's back and forth. He's trying to play both sides, where now he's like, it's my dream to live with my mom. And Jenny's like, since when? You want all of us to live together, you weirdo? So the fact that he hasn't stepped up, he's 33. He is a chicken shit when it comes to this. Just let her go, bro. You obviously, if you're not willing, this is a relationship now where you either have to go with her and let the family go, or you got to cut her off and go with your family. That's just the situation you're in, because this mom is she was like, sweep here, your kitchen's dirty. But I will say, that kitchen, get some shut. Why, Jenny, you are 60 some years old and your counters are full of shit.
I know that is not a good look.
No,
it's not a good look. It seems like they have cupboards that they can put things away, but why does everything have to be out?
And
when you're a couple,
some floating shelves maybe or something. Jenny, you got nothing but time. You say you sleep in, get Summit over there. He says he wants to work. Do you, Summit? I don't know. But I mean, it's just like the counters are littered. So I agree with his mom. Jenny, you might be 60 something, and yes, you can live your life the way you want to.
Yes.
Why would you want to live it like that? That's very disorganized.
And she says she does cook. She says she's not very good, but she does cook, but not the dishes that he's used to. She cleans, she does laundry. She's naming off all these things. Well, get in line, sister. I've been doing this for years. I mean, but back in my day, it was just, a woman's thing. Okay. And as the young people are coming up now, it's more of a shared responsibility. And people say, oh, well, that's because you're both out in the workplace. That's why this started. We were both out in the workplace when I was doing this too.
When they said women should do it all, you were still working and doing this. So was grandma.
Right.
So,
and all my friends
that has fallen on women in multiple cultures. And again, Jenny's like, whoa. But also, Jenny, if you don't want this to fall on you, you shouldn't have fallen for a 33-year-old who totally different culture. Like, if you can't, he's not willing to, you thought he was, that's the thing. He goes back and forth, but she should know by now. It's been this long. She's got to
way too long.
Leave. Let's recognize this super chat. Thank you. Carolyn says, may I just say,
hi,
I'm so glad Nana had a great vacation, but I'm sure happy she's back on the clock. You two are the best. Thank you for being here. Thanks, Carol. That's
how nice is that? Thank you so much.
Thank you for your generous super chat. We love you.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay. So the kitchen. I think I took some screen grabs of the kitchen. What is this?
Did you? That was smart. That was smart.
This is a surfboard guy.
It sure could have been.
What I did. Here's a little.
It breaks your heart to see this kitchen the way it is. Stuff all over it. That would drive me crazy. I have a little bit of that going on myself, because as you are a couple, Dad goes, why do you want to put that away? I want to know where it is. You can open a cupboard and know where it is, so it's that back and forth on a couple.
Does she have produce on the floor there? Is that a produce thing? This little tray thing?
It almost
like one of those.
Looks like it is.
That looks like it is.
It looks
like it's like
some type of
garlic,
lettuce.
onion, lettuce, maybe a tomato or something. Jenny, you suck at this. I'm sorry, but when I saw all her dishes and when the mom came in and said, you should put these clean dishes away, I thought of Nana, because I will do that though. I will, when I don't have a dishwasher, like put stuff over to the side if I have to hand wash it. Like at my last place, we didn't have a dishwasher. So I hand wash, I put it aside. Nana's like, are these clean? We should just put them away. We can dry them on the spot. I was like, no, you let them sit for 3 days and they get dry and you grab them from there. So I do understand that, but I don't understand. She had mosquitoes and dirt underneath her sink.
I know. It was nasty. It was terribly nasty. And I don't mean to come into somebody's house and say, well, we should do this or that.
But
But
you do.
I do that.
And I appreciate it.
I don't
because you
mean to, but I do
Well,
that. As a mom, you just come in and go, well, we could do this and that. I don't want to be
well, I mean,
a
look,
birch about it, but
this is
that's
ridiculous.
ridiculous.
And
Especially
this is after the mom helped out a little bit,
when they're on their way when they're coming. Why? That's these people that have people into their homes without lighting candles and cleaning. What's wrong with you? Are you savages?
Exactly. Light a damn candle. You got company coming over, okay? And also, Pledge is your friend. I don't know what the equivalent, there's probably Pledge worldwide. Any kind of wood cleaner like that for your coffee table. How dare you have guests over, especially your people you want to be your in-laws. Granted, they hate you, so maybe you did it on purpose. And for that, okay. But how dare you have people over and have rings on your? The Midwestern lady in me was so pissed. I know. Like, get some Pledge lemon scent, orange scent. It brightens up the place. What is wrong with you?
Make it shiny, get that dust off there. And then this is what drove me nuts. And I was full steam with the mom. She's dabbing her nose, wiping her eyes, and putting that Kleenex down on the table. That was gross. And
Jenny,
mom said that. Yes.
She put it on the plate, though. She put it on her plate.
Oh, what? Yeah, I didn't see it on the plate. I thought it was on. Well, why would you put it on a plate? Get up and throw it in the garbage. No one wants to see that.
It's lazy. Someone in the chat said, I think it was BGetch1 said, they're smoking hash out there.
I think they're right. I think that's exactly what they're doing. Some things aren't getting done, and neither of them work. So what's going on?
This kitchen gives me a panic attack. Okay, throw some damn rugs down. What is happening? And has she? If he says she doesn't sweep. Well, then you sweep, you idiot. And
I know.
So then you're not washing the floor. And then it's just, the amount she picked up off the floor, neither of them are sweeping this floor.
No, and I'm just saying, the kitchen was one thing, but when she's dabbing her nose and her eyes and putting it, I don't do that. Remember old ladies, they'd stick it in their
gross.
Like that.
I still think it's nasty when people carry handkerchiefs and then they blow it and they put it. I was like, and then okay, so I might have some family members that do that and then throw it in the wash. And I was like, oh, hell no.
Oh, hell to the no.
Oh, hell no. I hide when, I hide them. Like if I find them and I have guests, I'll hide them until it's time to go. Oh, I found this. Were you guys looking for this? I don't even touch it. It's just over there.
But that is old school.
My grandpa used to do it. Grandpa did. I hated it. I hated it.
That's what they grew up with and stuff. And I remember standing on a Saturday morning, and that's what we all started with, learning how to iron handkerchiefs.
Why would you have to iron a handkerchief? You're going to put your boogers in it.
Oh, are you kidding? No, we did handkerchiefs.
Got to be presentable for your boogers. Deb C, with arguably the best comment of the night, says, at the very least, spray the Pledge in the air, like something. That table, there's no excuse. It takes 2 seconds. One of my favorite things to do is Pledge because it's shiny. It brightens up the room. It smells better.
It does. I like this.
What's wrong with you? I know. It can get you high, maybe. I don't know. Do something. But his mom does have a cruel demeanor toward her for sure. Like she's picking on Jenny, calling her a grandma. And Jenny's like, I'm not old enough to be his grandma. Well, let's do the math. What is Jenny? 62, 65, 66? What is she? He's 33.
Yeah.
There's she could have been a grandma.
Yeah.
Right?
Most definitely.
For sure.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. That's just kind of what is going to. I don't agree with the age shaming and stuff. I think the gap between Armando and Kenny, that's a huge gap too, but people are going to have an opinion about that. They just are. Some people, they don't like that stuff. And you have to be able to, you wish people would just mind their business, but they're not going to. And it sounds like the parents are telling Jenny, every one of our friends is going to come in the house and laugh in your face. And I'm like, geez, what kind of friends you guys got?
I know. We have a big social circle. Do you? I don't know how. It wasn't from mom and dad's personality. No. I don't know how they have a friend in the world the way they act. But I did get the giggles though when she's smiling and talking to Jenny and saying cruel things. Cool. She doesn't know how to cook. She doesn't want to learn how to cook. She's what did she say? She goes, it was something about she couldn't open up a little thing. And it was a twist cover.
Oh,
she
yeah.
said, what did she says? Use your brain. And Jenny's sitting there smiling and
Yeah,
nodding.
but
You know,
here's
she's
the
just
thing.
mean.
Jenny, there's a lot of issues here with Jenny, but anytime someone's standing over you, watching you do, you all of a sudden forget how to do everything. I remember being on set for a commercial and they said, now you have to write on a chalkboard. And I was like, I didn't know I had to write on a chalkboard. They're like, okay, put this number down. And then the director's looking at me. There was a bunch of hot Australian guys on set. I don't know why they were there, but they were crew. Maybe it was like adopt an Australian to join the crew day. I don't know, but I was nervous already and I didn't know I had to write on a chalkboard. So they go, write 165, now take away 4, and now take away 7. And everyone's watching me and I kept screwing up. And every time I screwed up, they had to have someone come in and wash the whole board down.
Please.
So they made a big deal about it. But I could normally do, 165 minus 4, 161 normally. But when you have hot Australians, a mean director looking at you, and then they got to clean it off. You would think I didn't know math at all because of all the pressure. And I feel like that's how Jenny felt in that moment. She was like, I don't know what 165 minus 4 is. As she's trying to twist this thing off.
She goes, usually I can do this. She was just all thumbs. And Mom has one way of doing it and one way only. You can see that.
Yeah.
Where Jenny is not a housekeeper, Jenny is,
I like how they're like, you're still being an asshole, even if you're calm. Some of the worst people are calm assholes. Sometimes I'd rather you, when you're being an asshole, be more aggressive too.
Scream.
Because a calm asshole is almost worse. And DGF said Jenny's too busy rocking Summit's world and getting high. Are they high all the time? Did I miss that?
I just really think you're right. You're right, DGF. You are right because they're not big on personal hygiene from the looks of it. Just a guess.
Jenny?
I know both.
Oh, Jenny and Summit. I think they bang and then they don't shower for 3 days. I really think they do.
I don't know. I hate to say this, but they just really don't look too clean. Jenny. You know how you like to get up, take a shower, and it starts your day? They're not doing that. No, they're not doing that.
The pressure made Jenny put the snot rig on the
There you go.
It was good TV though. Like, I wish they would live with her all the time because otherwise they're just so boring. And it was only a weekend. They made it seem like they were moving in it's just a weekend.
Well, I think, but they were talking about both families, living together. And then, and when Summit said to her, yes, that would be my dream. What? To live with your parents? Really? Okay.
I was like, you kiss ass. You were trying to escape your parents by marrying your grandma, and now you're pretending you're mommy's boy. Give me a break.
Yes, you can't have it both ways, honey. You really can't.
Yep, she needs to go back home. Summit really doesn't want her. If get traditions are different, or I get traditions are different there, but it's too much BS. Yes, Care Bear. Yeah, go home, Jenny. You were from Palm Springs. That's where all the retirees go. You can play golf. You can meet a guy on a golf cart, bang him there. Weed is legal in California. What are you doing? What are you doing?
What are you doing?
He doesn't like you.
What a beautiful part of the world or of the United States. Where is she? Palm Springs. How beautiful it is. The temperature. You got the temperature going. You got the mountains going. Right now it is gorgeous.
66 degrees right now.
See,
and the high today was 81. Okay. Now summer,
that's just
it's a little dreadful.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
Well, it did get really cold. We had nice weather throughout our trip, but it got really cold when we came out to pack up this morning. It was 44 degrees. It was like, what the hell?
Man.
Yeah, that was a little brisk.
Who believes Jenny looks way older than Nana? And Nana's 66.
I don't think Jenny
she looks
older than she
it's
acts
the hair.
older.
It's the hair.
She has to cut the hair up. A nice little blunt cut would look darling on her.
A little bobber or something with maybe some layers, like get some volume.
We're gonna change up her glasses. That would be darling. We called them arrow cuts, you know,
Mhm.
back in the day, shorter up here,
But
give her some
again,
height.
why does she
I
got to
don't.
do anything? You know, if she's
Well,
yeah, you know, she's killing it. We're always hard on. I think Summit's got to fix his look.
oh, now
Yeah.
that long business, this long hair business, it doesn't suit him. He'd look so cute. Shave the sides here. I think get rid of the stubble. Wear something that isn't
Be a
beige.
man. Like
Um,
stand up to your parents. If you like this old lady, act like it. You know what I mean? And
now,
Jenny, demand
yes.
some damn respect. You got to 63 years old. You deserve respect. You're a woman. Get you some respect. How good can this D
Yeah.
be that she left her daughters, grandkids, Palm Springs for
How
him?
do you leave? How do you leave grandkids like that? Stop it. That's got to be so hard.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Aaron says, I love a clean home. It's calming to me. It doesn't matter to some people, and that's their prerogative. Yep. There are no kids living in their home. Yeah. If they want to live in filth, they can. But if you're having a guest over, you gotta get the pledge out. You can't. I'm sorry, even dirty people. Then don't have anyone
Yes.
over. Don't ever invite me over because I hate that shit where they're like, yeah, just step around that. I was like, why did you have me over?
Why did you bend over and pick it up? Yeah,
Just
I don't understand.
do
I'm
something.
sorry.
But
I just
I
don't
agree.
get that.
Now they're saying she's like, I like to sleep in, and he's like, we got to get up at 5 or 6 a.m. with mom so that mom can emotionally and verbally abuse you. Okay.
I know it's gonna be a big day, honey. She's got a lot of put downs. Come on, time to get up.
Get up, you dummy.
Terrible.
I mean, it's just like Jenny is like, I want to sleep through this shit. Shout out to Down with Jason. We were just talking about you.
Oh, yes, we were.
Yes, Nana's gonna be on the pot getting ready for her colonoscopy when I join you next Tuesday, Jason.
Yes, yes. And I'll try to get up once in a while. But once you
Just
get that Gatorade and that stuff, it's like
take your iPad in the bathroom. When I had, not to get too gross, spoiler alert, or not spoiler alert, trigger warning, whatever it is, it's 2 hours in. 2.5 hours, Nana.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry.
When I had to get a colonoscopy, because I had to get one at, I think it was 30, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I had some stomach stuff or whatever. And I just brought my laptop into the bathroom because you just camp there because they give you stuff to clean you out and you just sit in there.
Honey, you just keep going.
So bring your iPad in and you can watch us live while you're cleansing.
But that would be wonderful. Here's to you. But Karen, your auntie Karen says, oh, you know, when I had my colonoscopy, I dropped 10 pounds. I said, Karen, only you would drop 10 pounds colonoscopy. Are you kidding me? I think I put on weight because of the water, all that stuff I drink.
I always say my superpower is I can gain weight on anything. People are like, be a vegan, you'll lose weight. I gained 20 pounds. Do this, you'll lose weight. I gained weight. I can gain weight. It's just how I am, you know? Let's see what you guys are saying. If you like this old lady, act like it. For real though. I mean, what is wrong with you? Okay.
It is what is wrong with you. I mean, it is just serious. That mother was so condescending that I just
condescending.
Condescending. I think I didn't put enough fixative in. Condescending.
She was condescending. She was just like, oh
she
my
was
God.
horrible to her. Why would you want her to be your mother-in-law? Jenny, go back to the Sunshine State, even though that's Florida. What's yours called? What's California known for?
I don't even know. Anyway, think high taxes and the 10% sales tax, and you can't afford a home. That's what California's known for.
You know, one thing you're saying about homes, when you're picking up these kinds of things, sometimes, you know, on your travels, and you're looking at, we picked this one up and we were looking at what they were getting for homes in Arkansas. They looked like really beautiful homes, 114,000. So it tells you what people maybe might be making, you know, in Arkansas. I couldn't believe the prices. I was astounded. But anyway, GGF, you're pretty fun.
I did too. In 2012, I got pneumonia and I had to go to the hospital because they got sent to the urgent care and they said I had bronchitis and they were like, no, you got pneumonia. That's
when you were here.
No, I got bronchitis when I was there a lot.
When here, yes.
But I got pneumonia in Arizona when I lived in there, and Chell took me to the ER then, and they're like, yep, that's what the ER is for, urgent care, always misdiagnosis or something, and then sends you to the ER.
Isn't that nice?
But I was out of work for a while and like working from home, you know, before that was like the thing to do. And I gained weight on pneumonia too, because when I'm sick, I crave like Kraft mac and cheese, Hostess snacks, like a 12-year-old boy on the verge of diabetes. Like that's how I eat. I can't help it. It's just horrible.
I was freaking out because I was driving today, like I mentioned, from Altoona. I'm driving today and I'm following a Little Debbie truck. And I said, oh, for the love of God, I pull over. I need a Little Debbie.
Oh my God, Chris Jason, I can gain weight just as fast as I can lose it. See, I wish I could lose it fast. When I was younger, I think it was a lot easier, but
honey, everybody can lose it when you're younger. I mean, you can take off 7 pounds in a weekend.
Right.
Well, those days are gone.
That's what I was laughing with. I went to found a primary care doctor out here, you know, and so I went, oh God, I got so many. I'm gonna have to try some stuff on stage because that this primary, I'm gonna go back to her, but let me tell you, she was blunt. Okay, so they weighed me or whatever, and it wasn't as high as I thought it would be. So
when
that's
is this?
But still high. It was just like last week.
Oh, okay. All right. We have to catch up.
Yeah.
Okay.
So me and the LVN, because I was like, I don't want to look. And I'm like, I'm going to look because I have to put something in my fitness pal because I've just been guessing on my weight. And so I was like, oh, it's like, you know, 5-6 pounds less than I thought I was. So that's good. Still too high for me, but whatever. And then I was like, can you believe like I hate it because I said, oh, but you weighed me with my Apple Watch. So that's probably another 5 pounds take away. And I, you know, was telling her and she's like, yeah, we do that as women. Cause I just had like my Adidas slides on, you know, and I took those off because I'm like, yeah, that's extra weight. And I go, can you believe my husband weighs himself in the middle of the day with all his clothes on? Men are monsters. I mean, women, and she goes, exactly. First thing in the morning, naked. I go, thank you. You don't eat.
Thank you.
You don't drink. You don't breathe.
You take your earrings off, you pop the contacts out, everything goes. You know, are you kidding me? Yes. Stark naked and then cover the mirrors.
It's so crazy. But yeah, she was like, oh, you got she goes, oh, you got a fat pad.
What is a fat pad?
Do you know how we have that hump? I go, oh, I call it my lovely lady hump. She goes, oh, it's a fat pad. It's where you gain weight, you get a little fat pad.
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
Oh my God. I'm gonna
tell her. I go, because I want a full blood panel, you know. So I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna probably get you know, you test my vitamin D because when I was in LA, one of my tests I got back, the doctor said it was the lowest vitamin D they'd ever seen.
I know
in their life, in their career. And so I said, can you test it? She goes, oh, I wasn't gonna test it. I mean, I guess we could, but I mean, everyone should be taking vitamin D. And I go, well, I don't think everybody knows that we should all be taking vitamin D.
Right. I was told that my last physical too.
But just she was just so like, I liked her because she was blunt, but also it was just like
kind of taken aback. I would have been manner. Yeah, I would have been taken aback. It was like, so wait a minute.
All the things she was saying, she was like, yeah, good thing. I go, well, I got this Apple Watch. I told my husband, you know, I always need motivation. Like I need to buy something. So I'm going to count my steps, but I'll need an Apple Watch to do it, you know? And she goes, well, is it working? And I go, well, yeah, I'm walking more. I'm trying to, you know, exercise a little bit. She goes, that's good. You know, you want to do that now because, you know, at 55, I went, lost my parents, got sad, gained some weight. 6 years later, still there. It's going to get harder. And I go, yeah, since I turned 41, like it's harder for me to, you know, lose weight and stuff. She's like, yeah, it's not going to be easy. It's going to be a long time. I mean,
oh my God.
The whole time I'm saying that, she's going through, she was like, so your mom has diabetes? I go, I never said my mom had diabetes.
No.
And then she was asking about people. I go, I don't know. She's like, well, are people overweight or whatever? And she's like, yeah, they probably got diabetes. I was like, well, she's like, we'll test you for diabetes. I was like, okay.
And that's fine. But yeah, no, my blood counts are good that way with diabetes, even though my mom had it. If they ever ask if your grandma had it.
I told them my grandparents, it was on that side and stuff. And then, I mean, I asked her something. Oh, I asked her about colonoscopy. I said, I was told to do a follow-up at 40. She was like, nah, I'm gonna wait till 45. We just, you know, we don't have enough people out here. Everyone wants it now because an actor passed away, which is sad. The Black Panther actor, but, she was like, yeah, we just don't have enough. So now they're saying 45 for him, but you know, because of that, younger, I'm like, yeah, we're getting stuff young. So I don't know. It was just like, I was sitting there. I mean, she was knowledgeable, but just so blunt. So, and I said, she was from, this is the first sign where I should have been like, She's a little blunt. I like her, but she's a little blunt. Where
You're gonna
I said,
say United
what?
States? Is she from the United States?
Yeah.
Out east?
No, she's
Oh.
from California, Torrance. So I said, "Oh, Torrance High School. That's well known for a lot of TV shows, movies." She goes, "Yeah." And she named She's All That was filmed there. And I thought, well, that's an interesting reference. I think, or there was another person, another nurse
Really?
practitioner that was like shadowing her. I think she said or one of them said She's All That. I thought that's usually not the reference people give for Torrance.
No.
And so they go, "Yeah, it was a good movie." And I go, "Yeah, that was a good movie. It's one of my favorite 90s. I love all those 90s teen movies." And I said, "Well, actually, that, I mean, she went to school there." And I said, "West Beverly, now when I took my mom there." And she goes, "No." And I go, "Yeah."
Yeah.
She's like, "No." And I go, "Yeah." And Buffy the Vampire Slayer, I go, "I'm kind of a geek for this stuff." So they were both filmed the front and then also in the back in like the courtyard area. And she was like, "No." I was like, "Yeah."
Okay. I mean, let's arm wrestle for this one.
It was just like there was other stuff too, but I was telling Chell, and Chell's like, "You need to make this into a bit," because just the back and forth of her and I, and then the one training was like helping me up, and she's just like, "Get your fat back pad."
What is this called? A backpack?
It's your fat pad. Fat pad.
Oh my God.
Like
my mom had it, and I thought it was from not standing straighter. But
I said,
have
it's
that
my
lump
lovely
there,
lady
too.
hump. That's what I always call it. Because
I know.
Steph's got one, Stacy's got one, even
Yeah,
little
it's
Karen's got
family.
one.
I know,
We
it's
all
family.
have humps on
That's
our
why-
backs. It's that's why one time me and Chell got in a fight early on in dating, and I don't know why. I don't know. And I said something about something brought about scarves, and he still remembers. He goes, "You said you think I like wearing scarves?" Because remember, I used to wear scarves all the time.
All the
I only
time.
wear it because I have a hump on my neck. And he was just like, "What did you say?" I was like, hump." It's probably my drinking days, Mad. But yeah, she said it's a fat pad. I said it's my lovely lady hump. But
Oh my God, stop it.
Shan says, "Now that is something I haven't had that stuff in a million years, but now I feel like I need." Okay, so I missed something. Hospital pudding. Oh, you guys are talking about hospital pudding.
Oh, someone was spitting out their was it lemon pudding? I laughed. I thought that was pretty good. I'm sorry I didn't catch that one.
Yeah. So I think I'm gonna go back to her. I mean, I don't know. She's
well, why wouldn't you?
Listen, she goes, "Well, I like to see my patients every 6 months. You don't have to, but just to check in." And she asked me if I would get tested for Hep C. I was like, "Sure." I don't know. Is that
what? Hepatitis?
I guess.
Oh.
And
maybe.
she was like, "Thanks for getting back." You could tell she was. I think our healthcare workers right now, they're just pushed to the limit. So I have to have all the empathy. She was just like, this. She's like, "You got vaxxed? Huh. Thank God. Thank you for being one of them that'll actually get vaccinated." And I said, "Oh, you're welcome." And then she goes, "You get the flu shot?" And I felt a lot of pressure. I go, "I got it." And she goes, "Oh, when did you get it?" And I go, because I normally do get a flu shot. I normally went to the Rite Aid on Sunset. That was where I got my flu shot every year. But now I'm out here, so I didn't get one. And I said, "Oh, maybe when I got my COVID." She goes, "Impossible. That's not flu season. They weren't giving them out." I was like, "When did I get it? I don't think I got it." So I was getting
didn't get a flu shot yet either. I'd have to do that.
You're going to get the booster. You might actually be able to get an early booster because technically your line of work is around a lot of people with comedy,
Oh.
And I said, "Okay, I'll do it." Like, I just felt like I'm going to do whatever this chick says.
Those are the good doctors. There you go. I love it. You're just
I don't know if lipo would suck out my lovely lady hump, but I've just learned to live with it. I walk by a mirror sometimes and I'm like, "Hey girl, what's up?" Look, but yeah, I'm gonna get my flu shot. Don't worry. But
yeah, me
I told
too.
her, I normally just go to like a Rite Aid, wherever I get my prescriptions is where they'll just pop me with the flu-y. So
yeah, I liked it when they gave it at work. That was really nice. But now they're not doing that because of COVID. Your brother was telling me that they're not doing that, but they used to bring in a nurse and stuff. And
where they're not
that
doing
was pretty
that?
nice
At Walgreens?
No, at work sites they would bring in a nurse and do it.
I was like, they're still doing it there. Yeah, you can easily go to like well, you can go to your doctor, you can go anywhere. Shannon Van said, you're right, Joleen. We are all really tired. In clinic today, we were talking about something called compassionate fatigue.
Oh, I don't.
Aw.
I mean, I don't envy their job, because they're seeing so many people, and they're having to turn people away from the hospital because the hospitals are full. I got the booster. I got the flu shot separately in the last 4 weeks. Perfect.
Oh, she also said, yeah, if you get the booster, knocked me down worse than, but not,
Well, they're
worse than
saying
that one.
they're saying that absolutely can
second one, whatever.
happen. Yeah,
Mhm.
that absolutely can happen.
But
Well,
Shell
really, it would
had
be
no side effects. Dad had no side effects, just you and I did
right
on our
right
second.
on
And it
our
was just
second one.
24 hours. It's just
Yeah, it didn't last long, but boy, it just hit you hard, and you wanted to go to bed with a little Debbie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yay, Miss M's getting your booster on December 2nd.
Yay.
Woo! We have so many wonderful healthcare workers that are part of the LEEN team. So thank you guys seriously for all you do, especially during this pandemic and especially with these internet, Google meme doctors out there now who are like, I saw on Facebook, my friend Mary shared a meme that said they're implanting us with tracking devices to see how many times they go to Walmart so they can raise the prices on discount cookies I buy. And you're like, excuse me, sir, what did you just say?
I know. People, what some people believe, it just breaks my heart.
You're already being tracked. Here you go.
Yeah.
Every time you have this thing, they're tracking you. This tracks you. It's listening to everything you say. Okay.
And it's not that interesting. Are you kidding me? I mean, I didn't. Now, that little girl that talks on the GPS, is that Alexa too? Did this girl get the same gig as Alexa? I just have to know these things.
Well, I don't know. That could be Siri. I don't know.
Oh,
she changed the voice.
Oh,
Chell
don't
was
get
surprised. He said,
slow down.
I had a guy's voice. He goes, I'm so surprised you want to take directions from a man. I go, you're right. Why do I have a man telling me what to do in my own car?
Slow down. I just got it to work. We found this thing that looks like a little intercom. We did really good this time.
Oh my gosh. All right. Okay, guys. So that was so we're gonna see next week more of the Jenny and Summit and the mom and dad living there. I wish they always lived there because it was like so much more entertaining than these two just going back and forth. Will you marry me? Won't you marry me? Will you marry me? Won't you marry me? Now we got mom in there making her clean up stuff. And there's nothing I love more than when you see hoarders and then the after of the hoarders.
Oh, that's fun, isn't it?
It is fun. I do like that.
Oh,
yeah.
What is that one show that I like? It's not Hoarders. It's that one where they go out Pickens or something. They go
you
out.
like you like American Picker. What is it?
Is it American Pickers? It was Frank and is it Mike?
Someone in the chat will know. Wait, was it where you go to people's like storage site, Storage Wars?
No, not Storage Wars. I like that one too. But this is the two guys. They're not together anymore. There was a falling out. Frank was a short little guy, and Mike was the one that always drove it. And then they had Danielle she was running the office. She was all tatted up, really cute girl. If anybody remember Pickers,
American
Frank and
Pickers.
Mike. Thank
Nancy,
you.
thank you, Nancy. American Pickers, Frank and Mike. No, what did they do? They went and picked up what?
No, I'm just saying. I like that. I'm just saying. I like the show. And your dad and I were
3 hours, and I'm like, what? What are we talking about?
But it was 2.5 hours. Isn't that funny that you mentioned that? Away from where we were, we could have gone as closer more to Milwaukee. We were going to drive down there and see that they have their showroom or whatever, if you will. But now that Frank and Mike had a falling out, I don't want to see it. I didn't want to go to 2.5 hours.
Did that break your heart, Nana?
Kind of, because I really liked Frank on there.
Were they together romantically, or were they just partners in
they're
crime?
Just partners in crime, and now he's got his brother on the show. So something went haywire. Aww. So anyway.
Well, the new Hoarder season just started. There's so much more I have to catch you up on, but we'll just have to wait till Friday with Married to Bravo. Nana.
Yes. And I have to watch the second one, and then Wednesday, the third one. What's today? Monday. Okay.
Yes, you got to watch Wednesdays first. So on Friday, we'll be back for Married to Bravo, covering the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. We'll probably do an overview of all 3 parts of the reunion, but we really just need Nana notes on the third part. And then if you want to take a couple on the other one, that's fine. But don't.
Oh, that's great.
Don't do too much, Nana, because it's a lot of Erica Jane and her making excuses. And
there is no excuse for her. So who's dead with Nana? Do we have time?
Yeah, we can do a quick Who's Dead with Nana. Let's end on some deaths because that's always going to cheer people up right before bed. So
I know. It's just wonderful to be back. Thank you for missing me. I missed you guys too. Okay.
Yay.
The one that hit me really hard. Who's Dead with Nana?
We'll do an Ask Nana because I don't have a Who's Dead intro yet. So we'll do the Ask Nana little segment just so you guys know we're winding it down. Let's do an Ask Nana. We're asking Nana who's dead. Yes, good job, Nana. Good
Thanks.
job.
Ooh,
So proud
I'm ready.
of you.
I'm ready for Jeopardy. Okay, Joleen, what is a pussy?
Okay, not maybe inappropriate for the Who's Dead, but I still haven't made a Who's Dead intro.
Honey, you don't have to. I could just hold up this fabulous book that I was given.
Pray for the Nana, and the Nana will pray
for you. Thelma Lou from Andy of Mayberry.
Oh no, your
Thelma
buddy.
Lou. Yeah, Betty Lynn. She was the last surviving like adult from the show. You know, we're not talking Ron Howard or Clint Howard, who also his little brother was also on the show as a guest star, like I don't handful of times. But Thelma Lou passed away, and she was still greeting people at her Mount at this Mount Airy. It's not really a museum, but sort of, for the Andy and Mayberry show. She was still greeting people, still signing autographs. So her real name was Betty Lynn. Thelma Lou is what she went by, and Andy Mayberry, she was 95 years old.
Let's show a quick picture of her.
She's really cute.
Thelma,
is this Thelma Lou?
Yeah, let's see.
Yeah, Thelma Lou. Yeah, look at how cute. She's adorable.
She is so cute. Look at how
just a cute little figure on her and stuff.
Her and Barney Fife. Is it Barney Five or Barney Fife?
You're my daughter.
No, but there was that. I think it's Fife, but there was that Johnny Five, the robot movie in the 80s. Remember him? What happened to Johnny Five? You don't remember Johnny Five?
Not at all.
Johnny Five alive, and he was like a robot. He's like, I'm Johnny Five. You okay, Tilly? She got the sneezies.
Oh, hi, Terry.
Yeah, she's like, I got sneezies. Yeah. Do you don't remember Johnny Five?
No, honey, I'm sorry, I don't.
Oh, those are classics. You should look it up. The Johnny Five movies. But back to Thelma Lou. Very sad. Very
sad. Love her.
Yeah,
just loved her. And she's just very gracious to people that came and came to the Mount Airy where she lived. And it was just, it's so nice. So the guy from Friends, Linda was telling me, producer Linda, James Michael Tyler that played Gunther, that just loved what character?
Jennifer Aniston. Yeah. I wasn't a huge, so Busy and Sarah from Nerdtainment are huge Friends people. I am not. It's not that I don't like it. I'll give Busy a hard time and stuff, but I understand that, it's a hugely popular show. I'm just not a Friends head. I think Shannon Van is a Friends head. So Gunther,
the show now, really.
You would probably really like it. Tilly, put your
I do like it. I'm just getting into it now. I really didn't watch it when it was on, per se. But I'm getting into it now. Per se. And I thought,
let me share. Well, there was this great scene that everyone has been sharing, and Jennifer Aniston shared it when Rachel, her character on Friends, was moving. I think like all the Friends people are like, Joleen, that's iconic. Like, what's wrong with you? But you know what I'm saying.
I do.
Here, let me share. And then she said, he says something like, he steps in, I think the joke is he steps in front of Ross to say, I should have told you this earlier. Now that you're leaving, I love you. And Ross is like, I was just about to say that. So there's this moment where I don't know the exact line, but she says something like, she loves, I love him too. And whenever I'm like somewhere getting coffee, I'm murdering this line, but I'll think of you, or it's just this kind of sweet goodbye, but I don't love you in that way,
I thought he was very attractive.
Just funny and sarcastic, and they'd be like, hey, have you seen, I think one scene they had, hey, have you seen Chandler? And it was like Joey asking, he's like, I thought you were Chandler. Like his character was really funny. Or it's the hair brighter than the sun. Like, and I'll think every time I see someone with hair brighter than the sun, or something really sweet. And she shared it. And this was him, and he had said he wanted to make it to his 59th birthday, and he did. And then he passed away. So just tragic too soon.
Yes, much too
And you said
soon.
pancreatic
Pancreatic.
or prostate?
Or prostate cancer. I'm sorry. It was
okay, because pancreatic is pretty. I remember that. Whenever I hear that, it's like very fast. But prostate might be as well. But I feel like Grandpa had prostate and it was slow.
He did. There's some slow growing prostate cancer too, is what we were told at the time of Grandpa's.
Yeah.
Willie Garson, did we talk about him? Carrie's best friend on
we did talk about him.
Did we talk? All right. I just wanted to make sure.
That was another tragic one, like another great character actor who just like
yes, we did. I just had to turn the page. Sometimes you just have to turn the page and there it is. So yes, very young. So that's all I have. I'm sure someone else has some other ones. Share them with us next Monday.
Yeah, Short Circuit was the movie, Nana. Thank you, Chris, that Johnny 5 was in. And I know, Chris, you've been asking about the challenge. I was going to put out something. Miranda and I are really bored with the season of the challenge, so we're going to not cover the challenge until All Stars comes out. We're just going to cover All Stars now because we're just not feeling it. So I'm so sorry. I know you followed me because of that, and you were putting in the chat, and I'm sorry. But we're like, you know what? If it doesn't spark joy, I give it so many episodes, and then I'm done. But the challenge All Stars, which is on Paramount Plus, the second season is coming out and the third season they filmed, and we'll cover those. But we're not going to cover the MTV, the one that airs on MTV right now, because Miranda's pregnant. She's going to give birth in January.
I didn't know that.
She's just so adorable. And she's got Amelia, and it's just like for us, for her time is precious too. And for me, I told her, she goes, well, you're raising Tilly too. She always tries, because I go, you got, these responsibilities. Amelia, you got a baby on the way. She goes, well, you got Tilly. I go, well, yeah, I do. But she does sleep 16 to 18 hours a day. So I can get quite a bit done. But
you can pick up that pledge and use it. Yes.
Chell says, dinner time, Joe, loaded baked potato soup.
Oh, does it get better than that? Shelly, I missed you, Joe. I miss talking to you. I miss you too, Linda. I miss talking to you. My two besties and I wasn't calling.
You don't have to explain. You went on vacation. You had fun. Who cares?
Yes, but usually I'm but
you're fine. You got to enjoy, be in the moment. DGF, thank you for the super sticker. Thank you guys so much. I got to go eat my soup and go on a walk with my husband and pet my daughter Tilly here. Do you hear her? She went meow, meow. Deb C says, yum, Chell. I'll be right over. My favorite soup.
My favorite soup. It sounds so good. I love it.
Glad you guys could join us. Almost 3 hours, Nana. We love you. Don't forget to smash the like.
Gosh.
And if you could do us a huge favor and post a comment after the video posts, that helps us in the algorithm to pop up. But I know most 90-day fans will be like, 3 hours? What the frick did these women talk about? But the first hour, we were regaling our Nana's trip, which we had to know. Okay?
We were. DGF says 627. Now, is that the picture? I didn't see.
I was hella entertained. I'm inspired to go to Graceland. Yay!
Is DGF? Is it?
I think it's a little emoji. I think it's a little emoji. The picture is. I'm not sure. We don't even have to gender.
We're just okay. Then we won't gender.
Just a lean team. Wonderful.
Can I just? All right. Let me see if I found this here.
What are you doing?
Sit on it. What did I do with it? Here.
Tilly is squeaking. She's like, whenever I've been on longer than 2 hours, she comes over like, you need to leave, girl. You see her little mouth? She's like,
I do. Hi, baby. Hi. DGF, you added a lot to this tonight. I just appreciate when people speak up and stuff, and all of you are wonderful. But DGF, you had so much in the chat tonight. I brought back an Elvis Presley scarf. And it has little Elvises on there holding a guitar and singing. You got to love it. And
are you giving it to DGF?
Yeah. So DGF.
Delisa, send me your address if you feel comfortable. Me and Nana will try not to stalk you.
Yeah.
And
I will
Nana
send
you the scarf.
I just thought I got to get one for my people. The people that tune in all the time. Yes. And I thought, how should I do this? And I thought, I'll in my head, I thought whoever's writing lots and lots and lots tonight. I was trying to. So I thought it was really cute.
Write lots of comments in the future, Nana. We'll buy you shit. Okay,
I hope you enjoy it, and it's nothing against anyone else. I love you guys. But GGF, send us send Joleen the address. And this is light enough. It won't cost me an arm and a leg to send because I'm very thrifty. Okay.
You can DM me on the socials. Instagram is where I check the DMs. And then otherwise you can email me, Joleen Reacts, REACTS, Joleen Reacts @gmail.com, and send me your address and we'll send it out. Yay. I'm your people, Nana. Yay.
Oh,
yay,
that's so
yay.
wonderful. I'm so happy that you guys all got to join in and that yes, I did take some time off and the negotiations were breaking down between Joleen and I and this money issue.
I told her no more vacations, 1 a year, Nana. Don't get too crazy. Okay.
I'm going to the union steward. Okay.
All right, you guys.
I love you
so much. Love you, Nana. I'm so glad you're back.
I'm glad we got safe back. Safe back. That didn't sound right. Yeah, I'm still worried about that fat back. All right, you guys, we've kept you
your fat pads.
We have kept you long enough, and I appreciate you missing me because it's nice to be back. And
we love you, Nana, and we love you guys for watching. Comment after it posts, and we'll see you Friday for Married to Bravo. Bye.
Bye.